Sam, you can say welcome now, if you'd like.
Welcome.
Look at that
to
red
155.
red lines. Every time you say welcome, it literally red lines.
Because I'm juiced.
You're all just raring to go.
So fucking juiced. That's right. Because we're recording this following the Toronto, or the Toronto, it's not the Toronto. I'm looking
The Battle of Alberta.
The battle, that's right. How are you feeling, eh?
I mean, when I heard about that, I was like, damn, I should watch hockey. And then I forgot about that, and I don't know how to watch hockey right now. And I just don't really care.
Figure it out.
Maybe it'd be cool if the Battle of Alberta was like they both somehow lost. Maybe like they should let Lethbridge move on, or Medicine Hat or something.
Yeah, what's the actual best city in Alberta?
I don't.
I'm gonna look it up.
I need to delete all of this already. I don't want to hear this.
What
are you saying about Toronto here?
What about Grand Prairie? Well, no, I said Toronto, but what I in fact meant was the entire province of Ontario. That's right. It was on the day of you and I recording the leaders' debate here in Ontario.
This is so interesting so far. What an interesting show we've got.
Doug Ford squaring off against...
It's Green Bay. We're talking about Green Day all month. It's fucking Green Bay, folks. You love it. You know it. It's becoming an annual tradition. The people are talking about it. Actually, no one really ever seems to talk about the pod anymore, but we're still here doing it, and we're never going to stop.
You and I are still talking about it. I've been watching my current kind of end of the night, you know, if I want to watch an episode of something to chill out, wind down show is Superstore. And, just to recommend a really... And honestly, I'm not going to hedge. I think it's great.
So many better things you could be watching, in my opinion.
I can't, at 11:30, which is... That would even be late. I'm not going to lie. At 10:30 at night, as I wind my old bones down, I'm not going to watch something, edgy. I want to watch nice pals hanging out, making jokes... making me smile. But on last night's, for me, a years-old Superstore episode, there's an entire Green Day plot.
It's in the air.
The band. It was just what I legitimately was like, it's a Green Day miracle that I happened to be watching this episode of this show. So everyone is talking about it, including the stars of NBC's Superstore.
Well, actually, and anyone who follows us or has been within DM shot of me today knows about a Green Day miracle that I found. We actually aren't 155 is not the only podcast covering Green Bay. In fact, there's this other podcast network called Barstool Sports, and they've decided to do their show called, what is this show called here? The On the Guest List podcast. They talked about Green Day. They did a full hour breakdown.
Classic album review. We've done what?
Now, how much of this did you watch? Also, who are these guys?
I've definitely spent a significant portion of my day being like, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'll just scrub it. And I've probably could have watched it 3 times in the amount of time I've spent thinking about this. Breaking down Green Day's classic album, American Idiot, with Robbie Fox. And yeah, these guys, I mean...
Which one of them is Robbie Fox, do you think?
I think Robbie Fox is the guest. He's the guy on the left. He does seem a little bit more like a music message board lurker. He's wearing a Barstool crew neck. Of course, there's all kinds of Barstool stickers on his laptop. There are 2 Barstool, I guess, plaques on the wall, and then a large flat screen television with the Barstool logo on it.
we're just I wonder which podcast network this show is part of.
So
really letting you know.
Any fear or anything like that. We're not playing any clips of the song.
So the little one
so
is Robbie Fox.
He's already said so many things in this are us. So he's already said, to quell any fears, we're not going to play any clips of the song.
Fear, but today we are talking American Idiot.
I don't know this other guy's name. I need to figure that out. That's true.
Me and Robbie have bonded over this record.
There we go. Me and Robbie. So
it's something that I've recently gotten into so heavily.
His name is Colin, the other guy.
Got fed to me on a Spotify playlist. Yeah. And I was like, we need.
So it's Colin's show.
First off, Robbie.
Robbie's the guest.
What did he just say about a Spotify?
Over this record, I know that for a fact, and it's something that I've recently gotten into so heavily. I don't know what it is, but I think it got fed to me on a Spotify playlist. Yeah. And I was like, we need to fucking talk about this. So first off, Robbie, how old were you when this dropped?
This is.
I don't know.
September
Did he just?
21st,
I guess he didn't say.
2004. I
He
just
wasn't
turned
saying that
6,
he heard
so
American
again,
Idiot on
this
Spotify
was
playlist, was
everything
he?
to a 6-year-old.
I think-
Fox. I mean, the
I think so. So this is like there's like a baby and then a 50-year-old man having this conversation.
Just like
Yeah,
Between
well-
these two guys, how many tweets do you think that they have from when they were teenagers that would get them like
Well, that's
at
the
least
thing.
bounce from a political campaign?
There's,
you know,
they're woke now. There's a section where they talk about the F slur and how
did
it
you
like
ever
maybe was
do the
misinterpreted by the listeners.
I mean, not as a kid. but
not these barstool
They
boys.
did, and they also talk about 9/11 a lot, and then they say,
My-
"Boy, we
Oh,
sure."
wow, they are us.
They say, "Boy, we were sure talking about 9/11 a lot for a music podcast."
So it was like every time.
Okay, so which one do you feel like you're more the Robbie or you're more the Colin?
Like Billy Joe.
This
I
is the
think
first
I'm
poster I had on
probably
my wall.
Robbie.
It was Mike Dirnt,
Just because
Trey Cool,
Colin
Billy
is
Joe,
more of the straight man and
standing there,
Robbie's kind of
emo
the cool
makeup out.
wild card.
It
Although
was-
I think we're both
My
we're
wall
both
had so many posters on it. It was above my
we're kind of
bed,
both.
that poster.
I
My
think
dad just
the
looked at it.
dynamic of our show that's different than others is
Me
we're
too. He
both
was like, "Good night, that's all
fighting
classic rock,"
for
but
every
this
gasp
to
of
me,
air
I
to
was sixth
speak
grade. This was
the
sixth
most. So it's
not
kind of
old,
different.
but not a child. And
Just a
this was
knockdown,
like
drag out
the
battle
most
for
important episode at
visibility.
that point. And it was like such a great period of time in rock. And this was kind of
This is what you grabbed, right?
Yeah.
A great
This
period of
is
time
right
in
after
rock.
And I want to get into the similarities between the two albums sonically, but this album was so goddamn.
What are the two albums that he's comparing
Green Day.
sonically?
Because this was a
it's
resurgent
a
album.
Foo
We're gonna
Fighters
get into
one,
the history and all that,
but
I
not
just-
one-
Oh yeah, in your honor.
This record. to
Yeah.
me-
I don't even know
is
what
this
that
like
is.
That definitely just sounds like a real like this
I don't know,
person
like,
has heard two
stylistically,
albums
like,
kind of vibe, you know?
emo. It was getting there. But like,
Yeah, and then he's
What do you-
emo album.
is this an emo album? And then he grabs his.
I
chin.
always look at this as almost like an alternative rock album, where a lot of their earlier
Yes.
stuff was like more the pop punk or punk, straight up punk. Like people call Dookie pop punk all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They say that's the start of pop punk, and I'm always like, but that's just like I don't know, it's
It's
just
just
like
punk.
rock.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. But this is
Shaking his head. Nah, these guys don't know.
Parade, which is another thing that like is another one. It didn't. Black
It's
Parade
hard for me to
wasn't
turn
quite
this
the
off
biggest
because
album,
he
but
just
it was
it's,
one of
he
the
gives so
last
much. There's
big
also a moment where
rock
he
albums, and
pretty
both
early
of
on
them
where he
were
gets so
what's
excited that he takes his jacket off.
because they are.
Oh yeah, it's getting hot.
It's getting
and
hot
then
in
Ocean
there.
Way in Hollywood,
And then
because of
this
course
part
it has
I
to
was
be a
saving for the
Hollywood
pod.
album,
This
too.
is kind of reminds me of. We're going to talk later about the Kerrang
That's the differential
cover
between,
compilation,
you
but
know,
they also discovered
time.
in real time, and they
To
get
me,
really
it's
excited about it.
The John Mayer storyteller.
He does kind of look Colin, and maybe this is just because I've got Coogan brain, and you and I were messaging about Coogan earlier, but he does kind of look like a Steve Coogan character, doesn't he?
Yeah, like I think Steve Coogan could never play like just a charmingly foolish puppy dog sportsman who would be hosting.
No, this is not in his range,
Because I gotta say,
unfortunately.
like,
Yeah.
the thing is, I know Barstool Sports not a great reputation in any regard, but these guys who only have like 80 views on their American Idiot album breakdown some 10 days later after uploading it, I kind of love these guys. They're not hurting anyone. They're just a couple of nerds who don't know anything about music who just have the gumption to talk about it. And God bless them.
Well, I mean, in that sense, yeah, like, real recognize real.
Yeah, this is this is vibe based.
Salute.
It's just a different vibe. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
We should get them on. We should definitely get them on the pod, eh?
yeah, I think we should too. But so
We should have them on next month.
Yeah, we should to talk about
Like, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
So this part I think is really special because, even at the end of their show, I wonder actually if they've heard our podcast and that's where they got this idea. They talk about covers of the songs from American Idiot at the end.
Where they got the idea to do just like a podcast in general.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Or just, I think the format is similar in that they end with covers. And so at the end here, they discover in real time that Kerrang did a compilation of Green Day covers, and it's really...
I don't know. This is like a perfect record where like you look at it and you're like, I wouldn't cut one thing.
Yep.
Those you could say like, oh.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that they did cut them.
yeah, they're talking about some B-sides.
They did a cover album for this too. They did a Kerrang cover album.
I didn't know
Neck
that.
Deep was on it. 5 Seconds of Summer.
Shut
Bowling
the
for
fuck
Soup.
up.
Bowling for Soup did same.
Is Colin from...
Yeah.
Colin's got a
shit,
Dodgers hat on, but I feel like I was
Oh,
not
that's all
clocking this
that's
earlier, but now he's talking like Mark Wahlberg.
It's kind of true. Just the way that he said when he
Wouldn't cut a
says...
single song.
When he says 5 seconds of summer, he's like, shut the fuck up.
This man loves...
Perfect record where like you look at it. you're
Sorry,
like,
I
wouldn't
rewound
cut
too
one
much.
thing.
I need a
Those
clean
you
take
Yep.
of Colin.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that they did cut them.
I'm glad.
They did a cover album for this.
Colin also weighed in on
cover album.
the
Neck
When
Deep
We Were
was on
Young
5
festival
Seconds of
on a
Summer.
different
Shut the
episode.
fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
Yeah.
Holy
State
shit.
Champs did Welcome to Paradise.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's just as a bonus.
That's
I was just
awesome.
gonna say, did they do other songs
Yeah,
like?
and then the Swellers did Basket Case as a bonus track. That sounds pretty fucking cool. There's also a pop
This is blowing Colin's fucking mind.
All Time Low is a part of, and they did a really cool version of Longview.
I've heard that.
They
I've
actually
heard
like
that.
changed it up enough to where it like sounds like an All Time Low version.
Would Jack play that bass line? No, Jack.
Zach would play
Zach,
it, yeah.
yeah,
And
no,
he
wasn't it?
changes it up like
Just describing
a
how
touch
much
to where
All
it's
Time Low
it's
changed
still
the bass line
iconic
of-
bass line. It's like you can't really.
I feel like
change
he
that.
did. And him being like Jack, like so. I feel this guy knows the names of the bass player from All Time Low.
Jesus Suburbia, I've already said it is my favorite song in the record.
So then they pick their favorites, and he says, "We'll eliminate Jesus and Suburbia because that's just obviously the best song."
It's too lit. It is too lit.
So thanks, Colin
Guys,
and
come
Robbie.
on the pod.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean everyone else from Barstool Sports absolutely hard not invited on here. Colin and Robbie, you're two kings and you're two excellent music journalists. You're always welcome on our show. And
Yes.
maybe next month you can share your opinions on the band we're talking about next month. But speaking of that, what if we talked about some punk stuff right now in our little? Do you want to? I mean, I'm gonna. Plug,
If we were just like a regular Colin and Robbie, just talking punk rock, you know?
but with a little spin that I like to call punk news. Is that the theme song?
That's me being shocked.
That's the placeholder for the theme song, which I'm gonna.
Yeah,
add in later.
that's the theme for now. Until when you did you put in the theme last week, or was it just me?
Up. I did both.
You did.
Awesome. It
You
was
left it
awesome. Awesome.
Shut the fuck up. Do you want to punk first, or
I can go first
or
if you want. So
you want to punk the news first? Yeah, go ahead. You punk the news.
one of the real special things that I like about punk news is that it's kind of. Excuse me, I'm just choking on my excitement right now. It's taking two incongruous things, news and punk, and combining them. But you can actually do punk is kind of like a multiplier to add to anything to make it more badass and cool. And so what I've learned about punk in this week's punk news is from AustinMonthly.com. I guess it's kind of like you've heard of alt weeklies. Well, this is a monthly from Austin, which is weird. So I think it's alt as well. So this is Austin Monthly.
This is also alt news in a way.
It's kind of alt. Well, I mean, we'll see. But this is in the section called Wellness. Morgan Taylor Thomas, the author here, writes, "Elder punk Mercer Smith is changing the yoga scene." So I mean, already I'm like, I thought the yoga scene was kind of set. I thought the ancient practice of yoga.
I thought it was baked already.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could really, add to it. They've already got kind of the mats and the different all the moves and whatnot. But this elder punk, who, if that's her in the picture, probably much younger than us, I think.
Yeah, this elder punk is definitely.
She's about 27 years old.
Yeah.
She's got a Ramones t-shirt and she's doing some kind of yoga pose in freaking Doc Martens, though. Forget singing bowls. This Austin-based instructor creates an inviting atmosphere through edgy soundtracks and heavy amounts of affirmation. So I don't know what a singing bowl is, first of all. That's something that's throwing me off. I guess, a Tibetan singing bowl. Okay, yeah, so that's kind of... So she's... I mean...
Like, forget any of this stuff traditionally associated with this ancient practice. What if you could also listen to... It appears to be Lemuria, based on the shirt, maybe. Yeah.
Wait, are you thinking that this Ramones shirt is a Lemuria shirt?
Is that a Ramones shirt? Well, it's upside down. I thought it was a Lemuria shirt. Oh,
That's so generous. That would be actually sick as hell. A desperate need to fill a high school PE credit was what it took for Mercer Smith to try yoga for the first time. Spending an hour to stretch, completely overrated, was her original thought. To her surprise, however, she found herself enjoying the meditative nature of every pose. Fast forward 20 years, and the Austinite now works as a tech industry professional, co-hosts the Support Help Desk podcast and Multiplier Bonus podcast, and, you guessed it, teaches yoga at Mohawk in her spare time. Sign up for a class here. Only it's not any yoga. Determined to create a safe space for everyone and every age, she shares her message of acceptance through punk rock yoga, which matches intense lyrics and sounds to intentional and intense movement. And then
this is good because when I think about yoga, I always think about like toxic spaces where I can't listen to the Ramones or Lemuria.
Exactly. Like the thing is, the singing bowls, you can only get into that if you fuck with singing bowls. But like Tibetan monks obviously love the Clash or whatever. So I think that's perfect. Why did you feel called to this practice? I didn't see many people that looked like me. I've got tons of tattoos. I didn't have a bunch of yoga pants. I didn't wear matching outfits. I wear band t-shirts. Yeah, I have noticed that you never see anyone wearing like an old t-shirt or having tattoos kind of at the gym or physical. That's doing physical activities.
When people talk about representation and not seeing themselves in sort of, media or various scenarios, I believe they're referring to people who have been born with the affliction of tattoos.
This is actually kind of cool. She did classes for people in 12-step programs and did classes for incarcerated folks. Hell yeah. Shout out Mercer Smith. And it goes on, how does punk rock yoga differ from stereotypical class? I'm definitely a little bit more loosey-goosey and use a colloquial tone. The music isn't typical to yoga, and I mean, you can find different stuff, but typically it's more chill. Second, I bring a pretty punk ethos where I'm like, I'm not your master in this space. If there's something I say to do and you're like, nope, doesn't feel good, don't do it. I'm not going to judge you, and no one else around you is going to judge you either, because everyone here is just trying to survive the next 60 minutes. So I guess normally yoga instructors are kind of like a drill sergeant from like a cartoon joining the army kind of thing. I
think so. Yeah, it's probably just like in the army now, I guess.
So I don't know. There's a little bit more about working in the tech industry. People who've never done yoga before come and get stoked. I'm literally only here because you play punk rock music. So I guess also it's probably hard to hear punk rock music at home. So check out punk rock yoga at the venue Mohawk in Austin. I think I've been there during South by Southwest, this punk festival I used to go to. $20 in advance.
Yeah, before you became an elder punk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that part. Elder punk, like, why is that in there? It's such a confusing term, but you know what? Maybe while you're sharing yours, I'll
respect your elders.
I'll have to look up this author and see.
I already did, and it looks like they're an intern at Austin Monthly.
Well, they're just doing their best. That's fine.
Exactly.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
And also, I hope you're getting paid because fuck a monthly that's not paying you. Don't just do it for the clout. You're getting name dropped on 155, but don't just do it for the clout.
Yeah, this doesn't. This is big, but
people would kill to be mentioned on here. I think there are people in this world who would kill someone to be mentioned on this show, probably. What's your punk news, Sam?
So for my punk news, this is almost a bit of a continuation from last week. We're headed back across the pond. If you missed last week's episode, gotta go back.
Jet lag.
So another classic. Got to be careful. Make sure to take your melatonin and change your watch as soon as you get on the plane because we're speeding over to Bristol. Because of course last week we were talking a lot about the Platinum Jubilee, I think, and the punk artist Neon Slopper, I think his name was. But it was it was sort of like a little bit of a winking recognition of like, you know what, all the punk anti-monarchist sentiment, we're all full of shit. Who cares? Everyone's just rich and old now, and punks celebrating the Jubilee will not, maybe in London, the fucking dickheads there, but not in Bristol, where the real punks still live, because the Bristol Post, there's a stirring article. Bristol pubs announce "Fuck the Jubilee" 3-day punk festival.
Is that even allowed to say that kind of thing? Isn't that destroying a £5 note? I mean, maybe that's allowed too. I don't know.
Well, if anyone would know what was allowed, it would be senior reporter Tristan Cork, whose author photo on this website is like a Charles Dickens drawing, and it says "based in Bedminster." So, I mean, look, it doesn't get much more English or British or whatever is fine than
His
this.
Twitter is Tristan Cork Post, so he has it in his name that he's a.
Damn.
I guess that he's
a poster.
posting, or that he works for the Bristol Post.
This is hard to say.
It's weird how back in the day there was like to do a post you had to start a whole damn news organization, and now you can just just do something. Imagine I finished that with something.
No, I mean I understood. I mean it was a wry observation. Now I will say that the photo of one of, I guess, the Bristol pubs that is accompanying this article is a screenshot of Google Street View. Like it's a pub from an angle where you can't really read the sign, and the car's license plates are blurred out. But this is the Plow. This is the Plow on Easton. Image credit is Google. So while much of the UK will be much, but not here in Bristol. Much of the UK will be celebrating the 70th anniversary of the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, people in one corner of Bristol will be holding an alternative event entitled "Fuck the Jubilee." Damn,
it's alt news. I mean, one thing is you are. I don't want to like point fingers, but you kind of are editorializing Cork here a little bit because he's used asterisks. You don't know for sure that it says "fuck the Jubilee." It could say
that's true. Well, let's
thanks. Or
I've clicked through to the Facebook event. Interesting. According to the Facebook event, this is in fact just called the Easton Punk Festival. So I don't know. Interesting.
Oh my God. Do you think they actually got in trouble? Maybe.
I don't know. Is this Easton Punk Festival? Bristol Scum Collective. Hell yes. SF presents Wrong Way Promo. The Lion, the Chelsean, and the Plow Inn jointly present Fuck the Jubilee with no asterisks. 3-day bank holiday punk festival.
One of the posters is like a God Save the Queen thing, but I think with maybe Prince Andrew, or I don't know who these fucking people are. It's one of those guys. But over his eyes with like the similar cut and paste ransom letter text, it says, "Mum save the nonce," which I think is a really good turn of phrase.
Honestly, this is great. I mean, look, great. We got Love Dump playing. We got Mutilated State playing. We got Drunken Marksman. One night has Disorder, Money, and Cocaine. All places. Very exciting. This 3-day festival is being organized by Bristol.
The Rita Lynch band is playing also. That's cool.
Oh, Rita Lynch. There we go. A promotional poster for the event, which references the Prince Andrew controversy, invites people to donate £5 per night to support your local punks. The Easton Punk Festival follows in a long tradition of punk protesting against the celebration of the monarchy. The Queen's Silver Jubilee was marked by the release of the Sex Pistols' alternative national anthem, "God Save the Queen."
So they're really keeping the tradition alive and well. Punk. This is more punk than news, but I guess the Queen doing her thing is also pretty damn newsworthy. So God bless the Queen. Thank you for your service. Of course, we do not endorse the Easton Punk Festival. Now that we know what they're trying to say with it, we are Canada is I think the Queen's territory as well. So.
I'm trying to like really like read through and understand this other article, but it sounds like these same 3 punk pubs were already in the news because earlier this year they refused to stock some sort of Margaret Thatcher cider. So and it's quite a popular cider. So it turns out these are some Bristol punks really putting their money where their mouth is. So. A very British-looking hat off to you, I guess.
Oh, did you know that? Did you know that they have actually? This is kind of a blast from the past. The Bristol Live or BristolPost.co.uk Bristol Live has a comment section. So there's been quite a few comments popping up on this article about fuck the what's it called?
What are they saying? Oh my God, comments!
Someone says, "Bloody Jubilee, get rid of the stupid royals." Someone says, I didn't know we had a queen. I thought we were an autonomous collective. Kind of funny. Johnny Rotten, a.k.a. the blank, blank, blank pistols. Right on trend now. Punk is back. If done right, should be a kickin' night. Easton is the joke of Bristol. Hoodlums / street rats, along with middle-class hippies and pretended anarchists that quietly buy stuff on Amazon. The joke's on you lot for living there and thinking it's vibrant and edgy. It's not. It's a dump. You can't polish a dump. Amen to that. You ever had the misfortune to drive through Stapleton Road? What a dump. Not representative of Bristol. Cesspit. All the hipsters who have Tory parents that help them get their houses in Easton will be there. See, the thing is, I actually don't think anyone will be there other than like the world's most depressing people on earth. I think that this gives me like the Cobalt vibes. Like, you know, people when like a punk bar closes and everyone, I know people had great times at the Cobalt and, you know, probably, but let's be honest, if you looked at those flyers, like 9 out of 10 times it was the most depressing thing you've ever seen in your life. So, someone's going to yell at me for this. But
you're in trouble. I'm really curious. I without knowing anything about Bristol, I feel like people have strong opinions about Easton, and I'm just very interested. Like here we've got so people are accusing everyone in the neighborhood of being like a hipster with Tory parents. But also, like, so this must be like is this like a rapidly gentrifying area? Like, I'm just trying to put these context clues together. I mean, so someone wrote, Doggy Love posted, absolutely disgraceful and disrespectful. Shame on the lot of you, which is great. But then, you know, you get comments like this from Admiral Fisher's Revenge. Pub is a hellhole full of down and outs with no jobs. Everyone is on a bank holiday every day anyway. And then Margaret Thatcher, presumably not the real Margaret Thatcher, responded, well, it's Easton. So forget it, Josiah. It's Easton. Seems to be the vibe for
just a couple more. Baldy 1967 said, another good reason not to go into these tin pot pubs. So I don't know what that means. Tin pot pub. And Kingswood Biffos said, anti this, anti that, shame they're not, and that's the wrong there. Shame they're not, anti stupidity. Ain't that the damn truth?
Using the wrong there is pretty funny.
Thanks everyone for listening to Punk News, and now we need to talk about. Okay.
Punk news, punk news, punk news.
Do you prefer
Josiah, what?
Do you prefer listening to do you prefer kind of being able to tell that I'm listening to the theme song and you can't hear it, or do you prefer this kind of awkward no theme song going raw?
I like to be totally honest, I like the version of it that is easiest for you. I can find joy in any version of this.
Oh my god. I'm getting verklempt over here.
Josiah, what song are we doing for Green May today?
Well, Sam, it's called 2,000 Light Years Away is what it's called. And here's the thing. I don't really know this song that well, but I also feel like I've known it my whole damn life every time I hear it. So maybe I have always known it. But one thing that is confusing to me about this song is that the way that he sings the chorus, like I feel like you don't just put the word 2000 in the middle of a sentence. It's so strange. So I always think that the chorus starts with the number, and then I think it's probably called like 200,000 or like 20, because it seems like he should go 200,000 light years away. Like, it just seems weird to say 2,000 in the middle of a sentence in a chorus. Does that make sense? Am I babbling?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's also because I, like, maybe historically, because, like, we talked about this last Green May, like, Dookie is the sort of, that's the point at which you and I both came to this band. And I've never really, like, to my own detriment, spent enough time with Kerplunk, but I think it's also because as a young person, I mean, I heard this song, and so it's, yeah, same thing. Like, I would be like, I don't think I know the song that well, and then you start listening to it, and you're like, yes, the song I've known forever. Yeah. But it's also because as a kid, when you got into Green Day, you knew that there was like, 1,039 smoothed out slappy hours or whatever, and I think that it was that number combination that like tripped me up. And so, yeah, I'm like, is it 20,000 light years away? And yeah, you're right. Cause it's the scheme of the lyrics is, it's unexpected. It's, but also maybe we're just posers.
Yeah. I mean, definitely I am. I feel like there's a lot of like Vancouver people that are slightly older than me who are obsessed with early Green Day, and I always thought they seemed like really cool. And some of them are my friends, and I love them. But I just felt like it was kind of like the thinking person's the cool hip version of liking Dookie was to know about Kerplunk or know about the Slappy Time Boys album.
Yeah, the boy slappers. I agree, but I also think it's even if you were a little bit older when Dookie came out, even if you hadn't been a Green Day fan before, it sort of makes sense that you would kind of go backwards. But I think if you were our age, like there's no way that you'd be like, let me hear the indie version of this. Like there's just.
I think I would.
Like it makes sense.
I think I would.
No, you were in grade 4.
Oh yeah, no. When I first started, that's true. But I think there was a time that I should have gotten into this, and instead I got into the Bananas or something, or I found other vaguely pretentious pop punk to like instead of going back on Green Day. But I also think it's not just because Green Day seemed so mainstream and lame by the time I was looking for fancy things. I also think when I listen to this, I mean, I think this song is pretty much incredible, but it does something that other early Green Day songs from these albums do, which there's a borderline yarl in some of the singing. Here's a way. It's there's a touch of Eddie Vedder in here that I feel is in there in these older Green Day songs way too much, and it also reminds me of why I've never been able to get into Jawbreaker, to be honest. I just feel I listen to it and it just sounds dated to me in a way where it's I'll have to trick my brain into liking this, and then I probably will like it earnestly, but I just don't want to do that work anymore. But my brain has scabbed over from when I convinced myself Red Medicine was good. I don't need to do it again for other stuff.
Well, I don't know. I think there's kind of something to this because, look, I mean, we spent years of our life, precious hours we'll never get back, talking about every Blink-182 song, and that included an admission from both of us that the further back we went, the less familiar we were, despite the disturbing amount of time that we had spent as young people, and then really disturbing amount of time as old men, elder punks, getting into that band. And I think it's in a way that there's other kinds of music and other bands you'll get into where you're yes, I got to go back. I need to hear the very first thing. And there's something informative about the fact that both of us have never had, because it's not we're actually just lazy, disinterested music fans, because there are bands
I'm definitely not a music fan. The first two things you said, I was that tracks for
You're
me.
Check. But hear me, I'm working through this idea in real time, but because the essence of these bands was always them hitting you at this sort of exact, precise moment of relevancy, that you were just vibrating at the same frequency as these records, and typically that involved being younger and looking for something that had the kind of borderline psychotic energy of just being a young person, and that by necessity is an energy that is only ever moving in one direction. And so when you go back and you're oh, it's the same thing, but it's a little slower, it just sounds a little shittier, it's not quite I want to hear the next newest thing to fill this psychotic young person energy that I have. So it's funny to me that I have ultimately listened probably to American Idiot more than I've listened to Kerplunk, when in an objective reality, I'm I'm looking at the Kerplunk art right now, and I'm it's the fucking coolest.
It's so incredible.
Fun, everything. I listened to the song several times before we started. I was this is so fucking good, but I probably don't even though this is objectively just an amazing song, and we'll talk more about that. Because it wasn't an active present part of my life, I don't know that I'm ever gonna go back and just do it in a way that would do it emotional justice, the way that I feel about the way that I've been attached to albums like Dookie or Dude Ranch, or honestly, I like Ixnay on the Hombre more than I like Smash. And because I can't go back and make myself like Smash more, even though it's objectively a better album, right?
Yeah, I think.
What am I going to do? Pretend I like Ignition? Like, that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't understand
And so-
how anyone likes any Offspring album at all. That's just insane to me. But I get what you're saying. I think you're right. However, I think this song, to me, when I was listening to it, that actually did finally pique my interest and make me want to become a early Green Day completist with my listening. So I do need to work through that because despite the
But you're treating it like homework. You're describing homework, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying this song in particular really does scratch a lot of itches for me. I mean, the lyrics are so cute and so good. It also kind of it feels like pretty much almost every single thing about the lyrics. This could be like a Buddy Holly song or something. Like it's totally timeless.
It is completely.
And it has the that thing is so cool, and it also has so many of the or like similar like strumming patterns and palm muting.
It's got so much. It has all of the stuff that you love.
All of the Green Day like tumbling syncopation. Like there's something about Green Day that's just very like that's so good.
Yeah,
and that's like. I mean, it's a sick walking around song. Everything about it is so good, except for when he goes, "Years away." That's when I'm like, kind of like, okay, this is from the early 90s. And that takes me out of it. But otherwise, I mean, this is perfect. This is a perfect kind of Green Day song. And when I was poking around, I didn't know this, but when you look up Kerplunk on this obscure music writer database that I use called Wikipedia, for some reason, this song has writing credits from Jesse Michaels of Operation Ivy and Pete Ripens of Crimpshrine, who are like the ultimate homework band, who I would love to like because they have such cool art, but I just cannot get into them. But yeah, I don't know. Like, and also someone named Dave E.C. Henwood, who I guess was a temporary Green Day drummer. But so for some reason, there's like a million extra song credits on this, which I've never really seen for a Green Day song before. And it's funny that there's a Crimpshrine and an Op Ivy guy on here, and yet it sounds like the most. This kind of sounds like a thesis statement of golden era Green Day.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like this is like. I mean, this song is so barely like a punk song. Like it is just like this. Like it's like a kind of fast pop rock song, with just all that credibility going to fucking waste. You know, that's so funny. I wonder. Like, I wonder. I mean, this is like a podcast where, like, hypothetically, someone might. Did you find anything to indicate?
To be honest, I did poke around a lot to try to figure it out, and it's just all it says is like Jesse Michaels has the songwriting credit, and Pete Ripens, which is just such a British sounding name. Maybe I just can't stop thinking about Bristol. And
that's it. Just those little turns of phrase in the comments, like, really got me. Where you're like, that's the sort of level of like,
it's like you're like,
you can't fake it.
Well, the turns of phrase are like you're easily like the stupidest person in your town, and you're still like better at prose than anyone in North America. Like that's the most fucked up thing.
Sure. They're people who comment on like I don't know what the sort of like Bristol Post reputation, but generally I feel like the Post in most countries is like the dumb right wing paper. I mean, it's certainly true at least in like Canada and New York, I guess. So like, and isn't it true in London? Isn't the Post like the fucking what's the real nonce's name?
The Guardian.
Piers Morgan. Isn't he like
Piers
a Post
Morgan.
guy? Wasn't the Post that hacked all everyone's cell phones?
Yeah, probably.
Tom Green
was defending Piers Morgan the other week, and I was like, that's fucking typical of you, Tom Green, piece of shit. Turn down the show.
God damn. Yeah, that's it. He's canceled now. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, I couldn't find what they did though. Like maybe they were just hanging out, but it does seem weird. And also, it must be a big enough song that these fellas would have seen some royalties from it. Probably. I mean, there's got to be some money passing around, some publishing.
There's definitely some buku publishing bucks going out to the punks here, you know. But this was definitely like, because I feel like despite like I didn't own Kerplunk growing up, but I knew this song, and I feel like I'm just thinking like I knew. I mean, obviously knew Welcome to Paradise. I knew Christy Road, and who wrote Holden Caulfield? I mean, I guess it was like the songs that they would play live. You kind of like absorbed, right?
I don't know. What I was trying to figure out is maybe I knew it because of this. So this song, in addition to being on Kerplunk, is also on the Jerky Boys soundtrack. And this is a special version that was remixed by our boy, the Lord Algae, Man of the Sea, the King of the Sea. Lord Algae, King of the Sea. Actually, sorry, this was mixed by Jerry Finn. I think Lord Algae was involved too, but yeah, this is a Jerry Finn remix. So that's.
I was hoping that when you said it was a special remix, it was going to be like a Brain Stew Godzilla remix.
Oh yeah,
situation,
but with the Jerky Boys.
It was just going to be like Jerky Boys sounds.
I don't like.
Oh wow, this is like very. Like I feel like even like the harmony is louder.
I know it does sound really good. So the Jerky Boys soundtrack also had Coolio, Collective Soul, L7, Supertrunk, Helmet, House of Pain, Tom Jones, the Wu-Tang Clan, and Hurricane. I think I like. Did you have any kind of relationship with the Jerky Boys? I feel like I love them as an idea. I love the angry drawing, and I love the name, the Jerky Boys. But I never really listened, and I think I saw this movie at a sleepover, a church sleepover, but it was like the third movie we watched, and I was feeling sick, and I had been playing the South Park game for N64 all night. I think I fell asleep. Oh, nice. So I don't really remember, but I wonder if I'd like it now, just like aesthetically alone.
I mean, the aesthetics of it are so fucking sick. I was like a little too sweet to like Jerky Boys. I know there was like Jerky Boys was definitely a tape that people would try to get the bus drivers to play, because like I used to take a yellow school bus to school, and part of one of the perks was if you had a cool bus driver, they would let you like bring a tape and you could put on music. And so all I ever wanted to do was listen to Weird Al. And there was definitely some slightly older kids that wanted to listen to Jerky Boys, which was just like too caustic for me.
Yeah.
Like I think it's objectively cool. I've like pretended for sure to be like, because I feel like being into Jerky Boys was like being into skateboarding. Like it just is like, it's just cool.
I bet you the movie's sick. I kind of want to watch the movie. But
maybe we should watch the movie. Maybe we should like look at the soundtrack. This is basically like the soundtrack.
Collective Soul.
You know how much we talk about Tom Jones and Wu-Tang Clan on this fucking thing.
It's true. Yeah. So, but I do feel like this CD was maybe one that was in many a CD wallet back in the day. So maybe that's why the song. I
think of Jerky Boys as being. I do think of Jerky Boys as being a tape based, but you're right. The movie is different. That's like real Jerky Boys. I was kind of wondering, like, I feel like it was on like other comps. I was kind of trying to figure out where my relationship with it started. Like, was it another soundtrack? Was it like another compilation? But it's like listed as being on a few comps that I definitely didn't own. So I who can say?
I think it's. I feel like it's the kind of thing where it's like we didn't really know it, but then it sounded so familiar whenever we heard. Like, I think that made me love it more, because if I heard it, I'm like, damn, I love that Green Day song, but what is it? Like, I just could never remember even what it was because I didn't know.
Well, it just sounds so much like, in a way that Insomniac already doesn't sound anything like Dookie. It sounds like it's so obviously of a piece with like that era of the band, which is like our favorite era of this band. And so there's everything about it is fucking good. Like, I don't think you could put this song on Insomniac, but you could put it on Dookie, and therefore it's fucking great.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Insomniac, which I think is still underrated, but
I know, it's so sick. So anyways, I don't know. Like, I don't really have much else to say. That there's not much to talk about with the lyrics other than like malachite is kind of funny.
Malachite. I always thought I was hearing that wrong.
She holds my malachite so tight, so never let go. Like, doesn't that seem like he's like calling on some sort of pagan god from like pre-biblical time, like malachite? Like, yeah, it's like some kind of like. But what it actually is, if you take a look at Genius, this other website, this other secret website that I like to use.
I just got to hold up a mirror, dog.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Malachite is a kind of mineral, and it's green. And so he's just talking about his eyes being green. And also, by the way, this is a wife song. This is the woman that he married. I know. He wrote it after their first kiss. I mean, what an adorable man. Billy Joe Armstrong is so adorable. I hope that he never hears anything mean. I don't actually think we've ever said anything mean about him, to be honest, compared to like the complete character assassination
of every member of Blink-182.
Not actually, of course, not libelously, but just sort of parody.
And not Scott.
Allegedly. That's true.
Yeah. I look at him, you and I both as big time wife lovers, realizing you're like, this fucking song is about the woman that like they're still married, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's fucking so sick. That is just so sick.
It's so
he's
sick.
He's the sweetest guy. He's just the sweetest guy. And it is like, look, I mean, we've said it before, but just like an out of time melody. Like just hearing this and knowing that they would become they would change rock along with the album In Your Honor, in the future. It's sometimes you're like, damn, this that's cool. We talked about this before. Like that's crazy that it was this band. It's so cool that it was this song. There's nothing shocking about this at all. Like you're just like, oh, a guy who literally writes like Beatles tier, if you consider that to be the a number one songwriting.
I do now. Ever since the Disney Plus thing, I do.
Because I love that. Yeah, you got Beatles pilled by King Kong man himself. This is just so. It's so perfect.
Here's a couple adorable quotes about the song. In an interview with Pandora, now there's a blast from the past, freaking changed the game for music discovery.
Bought Ardeo, man. Shut down Ardeo, R.I.P.
Billy Joe said, we booked a mini tour and we had to drive all the way out I think it was for like 36 hours to South Dakota. Everyone was wondering why we were playing 5 shows in the middle of nowhere, but it was basically to meet a girl. I met up with her in South Dakota, but we ended up playing in Mankato, Minnesota, Minneapolis. And I think this quote is fucking disaster. But anyways, he ended up writing. He wrote the song after, like they toured just so he could see her, basically. And also they had initially become pen pals because they had run out of vinyl at the show, and then they kept talking and running up phone bills because they're in love. Oh,
the sweetest boy, the sweetest boy. And then I really do love him.
It's so cute. And then the other thing I wanted to really quickly just talk about, but I'm already annoyed by it. Like people keep quote tweeting Neil deGrasse Tyson into my thing. So this kind of like hyper literal read is already so tiresome and irritating to me just because Neil deGrasse Tyson is around right now. But I thought we may as well quickly look at Quora and find out what are some things that are 2,000 light years away. Someone was definitely asking this question, I'm guessing because they had to like write a junior high English class report about, then they had chosen these song lyrics to talk about.
For sure.
That's my guess.
Absolutely. Be like, some examples.
What are some things that are 2,000 light years away? And then Robert Esposito, a former retired consultant, had the absolute perfect piece of shit first answer that you find on anything. If you're ever trying to figure out what's going on with your Mac and you Google, you're like, oh, what's the deal with, how do I get this thing to stop flashing on my desktop? There's always some asshole who's like, first you're going to have to tell me what model of MacBook it is, and do you have a trackpad, and also is it on a desk or a coffee table? So Robert Esposito, his answer is 2,000 light years away from what, Skylar? Fuck you.
Yes, so helpful.
Then Adam Powell, whose picture is Deadpool, and his job is listed as the chimichanga champion at romantic dates, says, Uber says that is Jesus's approximate distance from my location. I guess he's running a little late. And then he added, I'm just being comical. If this feels inappropriate to you, let me know and I will take it down. Cheers.
Oh, that Adam.
And then
Deadpool himself.
John France with a OCD in philosophy. Is that a doctorate you can get, or is that an issue that people have?
Is that a diagnosis?
Is it a doctorate or a diagnosis?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we almost got there with some great wordplay, but you know what, John LaFrance, I hope you're doing okay. John LaFrance says, a distance like this is well within the Milky Way galaxy. In fact, if the Milky Way galaxy were a city, 2,000 light years would be like 2 or 3 blocks away. We can expect that there are at least thousands of stars, gaseous nebulae, and ionized particles. Comets and asteroids reside at distances equal to some fraction of a single light year. Then farther up, for instance, the stars and nebulae that make up the Orion constellation are anywhere from 300 to 400 LY away. Stars that at one time in their life have exploded and created supernovae or just regular novae may also be included in the 200 2,000 light year range. The closest microquasar, a small quasar with a black hole at center sucking up all the matter, is approximately 1,600 light years distance. The next closest black hole that we found is about 3,000 light years distance. So, I mean, in short, nothing of interest because he was just saying that they're within the range, but he didn't say anything that was specifically that distance.
Yeah, but he sounded so smart.
What a fucking piece of shit. So yeah, I don't know. I think that probably California to Minnesota or whatever it was is probably not. It's probably just 1,000 miles or something. He should have written a song 500 miles about her. I think. Yeah.
I think if only someone would do that, or 1,000 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite distance song, Josiah?
Oh wow! I mean, do you have one? You better have one.
Well, I honestly would. It's 8 Mile. I mean, I was gonna say 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton, but I realized once I said the words "the distance," the answer might be "The Distance" by Cake. Mm-hmm. But in terms of a song that like references miles, let's circle back to this at the end. But.
Yeah, I mean, is there any songs that have kilometers in the title, or is that
I don't know. Let's see.
Burna Boy kilometer, R8 kilometer. Yeah, Burna Boy has a song called Kilometers, but
that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, Lisa LeBlanc has a song called 5,748 kilometers. Is Lisa LeBlanc CanCon?
I mean, gotta be with that
so.
Name and that title.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. So let's get this straight. You're in Vancouver and I'm in New Brunswick. That makes 5,748 kilometers. I need to hear this song actually real quick.
Should we listen to it? What about? Let's see. Yeah, we got. Yves Marchand has a song called KM, which I guess is showing up in Apple Music.
KM, FDM, kind of there's a whole band about it.
Yeah. Are we about to listen to the Kilometer song?
I mean, this is so cool. Canadian. I love it.
How much of our money do you think?
Yeah. Great
Sebastian
picking,
Teller has a Kilometer, the 8-track remix. It's called Kilometer. Let's see. Am I spelling it right? Am I spelling Kilometer right?
So let's get this straight. You're in Vancouver and I'm in New Brunswick.
Oh, this is sick. I love this.
48 kilometers, we're talking 2 different oceans, 4 time zones apart.
Yeah, this is great.
7-hour plane ride.
This is one of those things where this would start at a show and I'd be like, fuck this. And then like they'd start singing and I'd be like, I'm listening. You know?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, you gotta shut the fuck up.
I loved her voice. It was so like detached and cool. It was sick.
Yeah, it was like, what if Phil Oakes just didn't give a shit?
Maybe CanCon is cool. There's no way we're going to explore that further because instead I found this old VHS zine that has Green Day playing on it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, look at it.
What?
Oh, that's so cute.
Got a little turtle?
There's a whole bunch of like...
called 2,000 light years.
This is uploaded by Goth TV, but it's from a VHS called Out of Focus Video Zine. They're so cool. Even like there's this video, they don't play this song on it, but there's a video of them playing at their high school in like 1990 or 1989 or something, and they're already like a perfect band. Like they've never been bad, even if they were a bit yarly.
Like they're just so vibey. Everyone is singing. Everyone's dancing so nice. It just looks like everyone's having such a nice time. Everyone here is just nice.
I love the palm muting on the second verse.
So like, what shirt is Mike Dern wearing?
He's wearing like a cool like knitted bowling shirt or something.
With like bulbous. What would you call those buttons? They're like there's a word.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It has like 70s prom kind of vibes.
Yeah.
He also like he's so good at like wiggling his head around like he's just also so out of any era of being a sick bass player.
Yeah.
He kind of does have like early punk energy.
Yeah, totally.
But then there's like I think someone pukes in here, and then they get interviewed outside.
How long you been together?
How long you guys been around?
What are your influences? Where'd you get your name? Who thought of the name? Was it
The interviewer is clearly.
We usually turn green after so long. No, I don't know.
Look how fucking
You know what?
cool they are.
Green Day at Great America is like when it's open from 10 a.m.
The interviewer sort of looks like
It's a holiday.
Matthew Lillard
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
Green Day in like certain parts of Canada.
with like the worst like little goatee.
I got a lock up.
Really?
I feel like Billy Joe is already wearing eyeliner here. Actually,
Your
I
mom.
think so.
he gets a lot of flack for the eyeliner later on. Even they all kind of look like they're wearing eyeliner.
Yeah, actually, fucking.
That's not all right. Thanks for playing.
Someone said, "Do you have a place to play?" And then Trey Cool said, "Your mom's house.
Later, boy.
It's a place to stay in."
Trey definitely has eyeliner on, for sure.
Yeah.
Who writes most of your songs?
I guess I do.
Billy does.
I do.
Me.
Also, just like
Me. I'm the one.
Why do you write about girls?
Joe like looks so cool. Again, effortless fashion.
Yeah.
This hat that Mike Dirnt is wearing.
He's wearing a like rainbow-colored cat in the hat.
Influences you write about girls. I know what influences you watch. Just
Well,
look at a
girl,
girl's house.
I have the shittiest love life known to man.
I do.
Hey, I do, Sean. You got a deep I'm all serious. I mean, it's really awful. I mean, fuck.
Still know, man.
Wait. So he's complaining about his love life, but he's already written the song for Adrian.
Well, because he's pining. He doesn't.
Yeah, that's
he doesn't live in the
incredible.
future. He doesn't
That's
know that they're going to be
so
married.
good.
This is a man who does not know that he just sang a song about the woman he's going to be married to for like a million years.
That's so cool. I also love like even in 1990. I mean, I don't think that people are going to be interviewing bands much longer, if at all. But I feel like people love to be like, I hate. It's so cliche to ask the influences question, so I'm going to avoid. Like he's doing like this meta self-effacing thing that's just making it more uncomfortable. In like 1990, that people have done that for decades since. So
Progressive.
That's kind of cool. But yeah, there's a few more like really old ones. Here's one from '92 in Reno, Nevada.
What do you wait for Green Day? This first song's called 2000 Light Years Away.
He's wearing like a bomber jacket now. The thing is, they also like switched up their look all the time and always looked incredible.
Yeah.
It's not like they just had one look. There's a circle pit, like they're playing in like an alley in Reno, Nevada. I hope that more people one day add the back to songs. It's so cool.
Is that a different bass?
Oh yeah, that's.
It's like really changing up his vibe.
It almost. I wonder if it's a Rickenbacker.
Like he's playing it.
I think it's a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, like it looks like he broke. He like for sure broke a bass string and is playing someone else's bass. And it's like a little too high. Oh my god,
this looks like it's from a movie.
It does. This looks like the punk
in Severance.
The punk show from Severance. Yeah.
Totally. All right, here they are at the Benicia Youth Center, September 1992. Oh no, he has the same bass, so he was playing that one back then.
Oh wow, he figured his vibe out better.
Look at his chops, too.
Yeah.
Going on tonight. We gotta stop. Hey, turn down all the high end.
What if rock music got, like, maybe Poptimism needs to keep going so that rock music can become so obscure that bands will then have to go back to playing in community centers. Like, imagine if Green Day was forced to play at the Benicia Youth Center in 2025.
We're actually a punk band.
We could dream of forcing them there. Great little wallet chain there.
I didn't check when this. There we go. They're so cool. They're just so
fucking
cool,
man.
So I mean,
imagine being this cool they have been cool. I was going to say that's not fair.
I mean, let's be honest, Billy. If you are listening, I feel like you did fumble the bag. You got to get back to the. You got to start wearing a cardigan again. I think is what you need to do. Stop wearing your little Five Goes West hats, and we'll talk about that later in this episode with our guests too. We're gonna give you some fashion advice for some reason, unsolicited, but
good. As we should.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm fucking supposed to say before the covers at this point. You want what do you want from us to convince you to go to patreon.com/155pod? I could tell you that this week's exclusive hasn't come out yet, and I could tell you that it's going to be a very exciting one because I'm going to go ahead and admit it so that we have to do it. And I watched the trailer again, and then I almost wanted to cancel.
We're locked in.
I almost wanted to cancel it. This Friday, we are going to release a watch-along with the new MGK movie the day it comes out. It's called Good Morning with a U. If you've not seen the trailer, it's about how he learns that the word morning, when spelled with a U, means something sad has happened. And that's how he learns that his girlfriend has dumped him. That's kind of the premise in the trailer.
I think that's it, right?
Watching the trailer, I was like, this would be so much better if Sam was talking over the entire thing and not paying attention. So we're going to do that.
There's a way to improve this. So
and we're going to improve awesome. Also from our Fat Mike fiasco episode. We'll just release the audio. Maybe we'll do one version that's just us talking so that you can actually try to line it up with the movie. And then we'll also do a chaos version. Maybe we'll
do a chaos one. We'll do a Globe Hell version. And then
exactly. But so this Friday, as soon as we can get our hands on this puppy and watch it and deliver you the goods, you'll get an MGK watch along. Maybe you can make plans this weekend, get some popcorn, cancel. Maybe if you had a family gathering this weekend, cancel that. And just spend time with us, your true family, because we won't let you down like they do. That's what I have to say about that.
I think that's good. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it is a long weekend in Canada, right? We are celebrating. It's Victoria Day. Speaking of jubilees and whatever, so we're celebrating our favorite role here in Canada. Victoria Beckham. Yeah, it's Victoria Beckham Day long weekend. So very exciting. Very, very exciting.
So to get started, instead of doing the usual playing Nightcore, I actually thought, to introduce the cover section, I thought I would let Adam introduce it. This is some guy named Adam, and on his SoundCloud, which is user-8808375051, he's uploaded himself. I think this is maybe a reel for the radio or something. Here we go.
Great.
We're listening to WMCK Merrimack College Radio. Here's Green Day with Paper Lantern /2000 Light Years Away.
So I didn't really understand why he put a slash in it, but that was... I mean, any thoughts on that? I thought he did a great job, Adam. Here,
honestly, Adam, great reel. I would say
here's Green Day with Paper Lantern /2000 Light Years Away.
Pop filter resistant band to another. You could use something to help you with those Paper Lantern P's.
Why is he saying Paper Lantern /2000 Light Years Away?
Because I guess he played both, right? Maybe it was a block. It was like the double shot weekend.
Is that how you would say? Would you say slash out loud? I feel like saying slash out loud is always really weird to me.
It is super strange, but look, he's clearly learning. He's learning the ropes, right? He's not a pro yet.
Merrimack College Radio. Where is that? WMC. I'm trying to find where this fucking place is, and I'm just having no luck. Merrimack. Oh, it's in McKee. I think it's in McKeesport, PA. So there's a.
Oh, of course, yeah.
How is that a real town? McKeesport. I
don't know. America's got it all, man.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of problems, is what they have. These fucking Americans. So that was Adam.
Thank you for giving me the spelling. You're right.
Does that kind of look weird though? McKeesport.
It does. It looks like it's missing a letter. Where you're like, sorry, I'm not sure. You get a text message from someone. You're like, there's a word missing here, and I can't figure out what you meant.
I got too excited, so I played it off the top. But here's where I was going to play. Our friend. Well, maybe let's just see what they're saying, anyways. Our friends from Barstool.
Album where it's like Jesus of Suburbia starts you off on that chaotic.
Yep.
This is the lay of the land. Another kind of what the main character.
But when they got all excited about the Kerrang!
By the end, it
covers, I thought that was gonna.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but so here's the one kind of famous band that did it. I'm pretty sure they're canceled. So. I don't know. I mean, one time we played like a thing that I thought was nothing, and then it was like some canceled emo band from like the deepest recesses of bands with manager Twitter, and then everyone was telling me like, "Oh, that band is canceled," and I was like, "I don't remember what you're talking about," because I just black out and talk about pop punk every Monday night with my friend Sam. So I just want to say up front, I'm pretty sure that I already knew that this band was in trouble, right? Beach Slang, are they in trouble?
Yeah, Beach Slang definitely canceled. All of your music is also like not even
Sorry,
on.
this is a lot louder than those boys. What did you say?
Their music is not even on like streaming anymore.
Whoa, really?
Like, all the stuff that was on. Yeah, I actually like really wonder if it's on purpose. But yeah, it sounds like he sucks, which makes sense because I really like this band. So.
Well, and I was going to say, you're not supposed to when a band is canceled, you're not supposed to say, "Well, I always knew they sucked." So that's why I'll choose to say nothing at all. And let's move on from Beach Slang's Kerrang! To I got to hand it to Minority 905. Not only are they 905 is Ontario, right?
It's
Erica?
close to it's real close. The 416 905, a classic tune.
Not only are they Ontarians, but Minority 905 has somehow nailed the SEO. Like when you search any pop punk song, their cover video pops up. So congrats.
And also, when we watched them, there was definitely at one point one of them was wearing a Junior Battle shirt.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that's true. So they know.
Great fashion sense. Yeah, they're cool. These guys are confirmed. Look at this big smile.
Yeah, this kid is actually sick. And also,
no wait, is this it? Because I feel like before it's been a full band, but this is
I think it's just the one guy. He probably just like saw a hole in their SEO on YouTube and decided to fill it in because they're building an empire on here. But
nice subtle green lighting in the background, thematic. It's great.
There's something about this song, probably because it's just so like strummy and sick, and it has a really good open E major chord that really hits so hard. But the like straightforward rock covers of it sounds sick as hell. So I just want you to bask in that because it's mostly going to be a very difficult night from here on out.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to lean back here. I'm changing my seating pattern. I'm soaking it up. I'm getting ready for the worst. I mean, is it going to be worse? Last week's cover section was the worst. Like, I don't think cover section where you weren't like deliberately fucking with me and playing on TV or whatever.
It's true.
It was the worst one that was just covers of the song.
I know. This guy's name is John Coote. He's also just one man band in it. He's
got the nice, like he's sort of stitched together the shots here.
He does some trickery. Cool. His bass sounds fucking sick.
Oh yeah, that's how bass should sound. Like, can you just agree? Like that should be just like save that setting, apply it to every record ever made.
Seriously.
There is no song in existence that would not benefit from that bass drum.
He has a germ sticker on his guitar. This kid is fucking cool. This kid's ahead.
So we got a punk on our hands.
Seriously, and a Blink sticker on his bass. Oh yeah, that bass.
How big is your screen that you can see any of these stickers?
That bass is delicious. I mean, it's pretty big, and I have great eyes. I don't know if you knew that about me.
I can't see shit.
I have really good vision. And this is how I use it.
This is what you're doing with that gift.
So yeah, I mean, just playing it straight up, it sounds fucking sick as hell. And even when little kids do it, this is Lincoln Zinzola of the band Color Killer. I think also doing a one-child band, maybe. I'm pretty sure.
All these single children.
That's the same kid 3 times, right?
Oh my god. Yeah, this is definitely the same kid. This is the fucking coolest thing.
I mean, I will say this. If you're not a little kid, I feel like the band name Color Killer is incredibly sketchy. But when you're a little kid, I think you're probably just maybe talking about markers or something.
Yeah. Those like doubled kid vocals, though?
Yeah, the kid vocals are incredible. Especially the drums are really good. But if you think that kid's cool, check out this little baby boy, Lincoln.
How many baby boys are in the covers this week?
This kid's 7.
I sit alone in my bedroom, staring at the wall.
It rules.
I've been up
Oh my
all day
God.
long. I'm forgetting that I'm learning. I'm definitely close my eyes and keep butter. She's 2,000 light years away.
This is so good. I am at guitar. This is better. This kid is better at guitar.
So tight, so never let go. 'Cause she's too.
How many Green Day fans in the world do you think name drop Malachite all the time and that they know what it is? Like that's got to be a thing, right?
It's definitely where you're trying to flex all the rocks you know.
To be honest, I can't remember all these. I mean, it's good vibes so far, and this one I think is good vibes, despite it being a uke, which is incredible. So here's a good vibe uke cover.
The predominantly bad vibe uke covers make the good vibe uke covers fly so high.
It's true. This is Sleeping Colors uploaded this kind of.
Sit alone in my bedroom, staring at the walls. I've been up all damn night long. My pulse is speeding, my love is yearning. I hold my breath and close my eyes. And
oohs in the background? Yeah.
Oh my god!
'Cause she's 2,000 light.
This is fucking great.
This is from 2019. Sleeping Colors writes, the first Green Day shirt I ever owned had the cover of Kerplunk on it. I got it from Hot Topic, of course, when I was 11 or 12. Hope you like my version. We love it, Sleeping Colors.
This is so great.
I sit outside and watch the sunrise, look out as far as I can.
Those little backup vocals are so good. I mean, I think the next one is what I think a not so good uke cover. So tell me when you're ready.
I'm like, let's keep this train going. The vibes are good though.
All right. Well, this is Grissy music.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck you.
I cannot feel my fingers. Fuck.
It's cold outside, I guess. Beautiful backdrop, but really annoying guy. Just incredibly annoying vibes all around.
This sound should be called 6,000 kilometers away. Ready?
Oh, here. That was our joke.
Oh no, are we this wacky guy? So this guy is dressed so wacky. He's got bright red pants.
I sit alone in my bedroom.
Yeah, everything is so wacky. It's hard to even.
I mean, he's power clashing every single.
But this is also how members of the Arcade Fire dress IRL, or when I see Tim Hecker walking around, he dress I feel like indie people do dress like this, but they don't.
She holds my malachite so tight.
They don't do emotive ukulele covers.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And also, this would just be such a beautiful shot if he wasn't in it.
I know.
He's just blocking a gorgeous landscape with swaying trees, beautiful, rich colors.
Look out as far as I can.
Yeah, a gorgeous sky.
Yeah, so this guy was saying he's kind of cold. And then I noticed there's kind of a theme, because this guy's also really cold, and he's inside. I mean, look how cold this guy is. He's wearing a North Face puffer over top of a hoodie while playing electric guitar in his bedroom.
Wow.
I mean, is the heat out? You don't have heat? Is that, do we need to help? Do you need to start a GoFundMe?
Yeah, I'm worried. I mean, you gotta call your landlord, man.
This is from Johannesburg. Green Day, 2,000 Light Years Away, and then in parentheses, cover, comma, kind of. This is by Dylan. So I don't know why maybe he'll explain why this is only kind of a cover, but he looks fucking so, I mean, he looks cool also, but he looks cold, AF, freezing cold.
This is cold too.
Yeah, this is too much. It's making me cold to look at it.
I do love, it's hard to even really describe what these kinds of power. It's so gingerly making the chord formations. He's scared he's gonna break his guitar.
It's very sweet. Well, he looks like a tall man.
Yeah.
Maybe he is too powerful.
Maybe he's so tall that it makes him colder. Maybe his head is hot because it's so high up, and then his lower parts are cold.
Right. That makes sense.
But I love this cover. don't know why he said it's kind of a cover. Does he fuck up? See, you can sing Years Away without yarling it. It sounds nice.
It's probably hard to yarl in that temp. I guess because he didn't finish it, he kind of just stops and just...
Yeah.
So it's not a full cover.
I mean, that's still... I would say that's a cover. I think he did it. But yeah, this kind of a vibe is... The vibe of kids... Like, there's acoustic covers of it, but there's also just... What I love is kids singing it electrically in their house. It's my favorite...
This is great. So it's like a kid in the bedroom. We got the bunk bed, and the top bunk is just sort of covered in shit.
The CD tower behind him. DC
but still
shoes,
the like
t-shirt.
The trim, the like the trim along the top of the room.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I used to have that like in my childhood bedroom. I had that. And it was just the J's logo.
Oh yeah, like that kind of like I don't know what it's. I guess it's like a child's version of crown molding. But
yeah, exactly. Like, did you have that in your bedroom?
My little brothers had a shared room, and they had that. And yeah, it's always like that's like the sign that you've had the room since you were like 9. Like it has like balloons on it or something. But it doesn't. You can tell he's trying to be more grown with his punk style. But the song kind of does always sound good. I'm like hitching a ride, at least for now. We'll see what happens. But so. Here's another guy just doing an electric guitar and singing in his room. Now this guy seems a little bit more... I don't know.
I like his, like...
He's an interesting nod.
Yeah.
He nods like he just bought you a drink from across the bar and you're looking out.
That's what it is, yeah. Like, there's a weird, like... aloof sexual energy.
Also, his drawer is so full that it doesn't close, which I love.
The drawer's really making me crazy. Why is he nodding like that?
I don't know, but it's sick. I don't think enough people do like strummy electric guitar and vocals only, nothing else. Like,
yeah,
it's such
true.
A good thing. So these are like guys. These are boys in their rooms, but I also have one man in a hall for you.
Okay, good.
That's okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
By the way, this guy's name is Limp Neck Mike. Maybe that has to do... Maybe he knows that he's doing some sort of neck thing. And that's why it's his name. So here's the man in the hall. His name is Alexander. And he kind of has like early, like Tenacious D appearing in Biodome vibes, I think. And he's wearing a Rancid shirt.
Oh, yeah.
He says this song goes out to someone really special.
This guy rocks. For sure, it was like really fun to work at summer camp with this guy.
Yeah. The false start is so sick.
Also, like, I can't tell if he's like an old 22-year-old or he's like in his mid-30s and just like
I know
he's like a young mid-30s, like you know, by virtue of just sort of keeping the summer camp dream alive.
But he's doing good.
Because no one in their 20s has that goatee.
The way he's singing is
oh wow.
What is he even? What? Yeah, he definitely plays guitar like he's trying to overpower a room full of campers.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I love him. I bet, like I said, when he was on kitchen staff, man, that was the craziest.
Those are the
summer.
best times. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's probably still there too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit, cool. I mean, cool, man. That's great.
Yeah, do it.
Those were I mean, I don't know if they were the best days of our lives. They were really good days. That's great. I'm happy for you.
Well, while we're kind of on the camp vibe, let's check out this weird. There's some weird rooms going on. This
what
is
up
Laced
with the room situation?
Blue. They're performing. I don't know. Is this I don't know if it's a shed or if it's like a shack or if it's a barn.
I mean, I guess what is are all those things kind of the same but just different use cases?
Well, maybe this isn't big enough to be a barn.
Unfinished plywood structure.
But it's like centered.
How big is a barn? Is a barn a size?
Is, like, obviously pretty low res video, but it is framed like an A24 movie. This barn. If there was like a sketchy animal that was a metaphor for divorce, it could be an A24 movie instead of this teen band.
I'll be honest with you, Google image result for barn, I mean, it looks exactly like this.
Maybe it is. Maybe they're in a barn.
Hold on here. I'm going to send you, this is the Wikipedia entry for barn. If you scroll down, you're going to see a barn that looks like it actually, I feel like they're in the Wikipedia barn.
They really are.
This is a famous barn.
I mean, they're also killing it. I think this song was like truly made for like little shithead teens to just nail.
It was just
cover.
made for rooms. Yeah.
Well, this is another great room. This is like a classic garage. I mean, this garage is just an all-time jam space garage. This is such a maximalist image. There are so many items that I guess you have to look at for quite a while to see. In fact,
I feel like we've seen this garage before.
What's interesting about this garage also is that outside of the amp and the drums, and I don't even know. Oh, there's another tiny bracket. So there's 2 amps and drums. Outside of that, there is nothing whatsoever subcultural about this garage. It's entirely just like all fishing supplies and antlers and oh my god, I love this garage. This
is like a top, but again, there's like a familiarity here. I'm like, have we already seen this garage?
I know. It kind of seems like a garage maybe that's at the cottage. I just noticed is that a surfboard or something? And there's like a rope, unless it's honestly that looks like a noose rope, but it seems like a boat garage.
But you're right. I think that's a surfboard. This is definitely it looks like the garage is open. You know, we're seeing shorts. I'm seeing tanks. A lot of coolers, outdoor living, right? This is perhaps a beach-bound garage.
Well, this band is called Board Heads, also. So that kind
of. Oh, there we go.
This is Board Heads. The sloppier it is, the better it is, really.
Just all these cool rooms.
So sick. I love when people try to copy the fills with just like some weird.
Yeah,
just like a free
sort
jazz
of teen impression of it.
Now we've seen some rooms that we liked, but unfortunately, I need to show you a very, very scary and evil room. Now,
no,
this is a guitar cover by Diykaa Daika. This is a completely blurry, out of focus room.
Yeah.
There's like Joker-esque graffiti
that's
written all over the entire. He's not playing in tune with the song whatsoever, and I can't even tell is it in a different language or is it just nonsense? But like giant graffiti all over the wall.
That's so scary.
And then just like
I think it might be in another language.
Strewn about bags, sleeping bags all over everything. But then for some reason the scariest part of it is that this kid is wearing a Man Overboard shirt, which like to me combining this kind of like scary punk squat energy with something that I assume is like squeaky clean like Man Overboard, that gives me like school shooter vibes for some reason. That's the scariest part of
this is unsettling for sure. I can feel like I'd see this in a documentary where like it's getting to the part where I just need to walk away. Like this is making me feel like I need to leave the room.
I can see the phrase "I just" on the wall. Maybe you just see whatever is in your subconscious on the wall. I think it says myriad.
It's a Rorschach test. The Joker test. No. nothing there.
That's just really, that's a really scary video. Maybe everyone will just have to believe us at home. But that's why I thought I would, introduce then the kind of a little bit more cursed section. Continuing with this band called Scrutiny Groove, which maybe it's the band name or the production. But I also realized that the yarling that Billy Joe is doing in the song is not dissimilar from the Spin Doctors. And this kind of also sounds a little bit like the Spin Doctors. This is from Dark Raven Audio Recording Studio, I guess. What's their little audio tag that they have?
Yeah. Jesus.
Moving on up to the Dark Raven.
Okay. See, even the change in the chord progression is giving it more of a Spin Doctors vibe.
Yeah.
Doesn't this sound exactly like...
It does.
The classic album Pocket Full of Kryptonite?
Yeah.
Scrutiny Groove. Great band name.
Oh, man. I'm scrutinizing this groove, and what I'm finding is I like it. It's so Spin Doctor, dude.
I don't know why. So that's Scrutiny Groove. While we're kind of doing things that are fun to say, this is something called The Do with 3 O's. I think we need to figure out what this is. I think this is some real, confusing shit. So it's The Do. I mean, already looking at this, I see a lot of things that I'm really confused by. Omegle, is that like chat roulette? That's what that is, right?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. The Do. Oh, is it? Okay. This is a YouTuber who plays.
Oh yeah.
music.
Okay. Omegle is it's chat roulette. Yeah.
Okay, and the Do is a guitarist YouTuber. So these kids are on Omegle and they see that they're with.
It's the Do. It's the fucking Do.
It's the fucking.
Are you sure?
Wait, what? No. It's not you. It's not. Okay, wait. Say Brayden.
Hey, Brayden.
I love you, bro. I watch all your fucking videos.
Oh,
this is
dude.
fucking insane. Can you play 2,000 Light Years Away by Green Day?
I don't think I know that Green Day song. Can I listen to it really fast? See if I can do something with it.
The Do. He's on Omegle with these kids who.
I'm pretty sure it's a power chord on the.
Brayden, I feel like he knows how to play it.
I'm sorry.
Something like this.
The Do rocks.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to make fun of this, and I love a guitar solo.
Yeah, sorry, man. This is very Josiah.
That was amazing. Holy shit.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you very, very much.
I mean, then they always have to do some annoying thing.
I don't know why they gotta do that. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I thought there was gonna be worse vibes than there are. Maybe it'll get worse. I mean, this one, I think there's no way we're gonna survive this one. This is
okay.
This is very Joker vibes again.
No, this is more like the Riddler.
Yeah, the new.
I feel like we're in new Riddler territory here. This is like some Dano shit.
There's like an evil heart emoji, and then.
So
it's almost impossible to describe what this looks like, except that it's going to kill us both for watching it.
Yeah. Well, as long as if we describe it to everyone on the pod, I think they will actually be killed.
I think the most important thing about it is that this is the YouTuber's name. Sigmoid Turtle Right Noise, like Right WRITE.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Sigmoid.
That's what I gotta say about that. Oh, this is so fucking cursed. You gotta post this because this is like one of the most cursed things you ever found.
He actually shows up in.
How do you even make this video?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, if you look at his.
Why would I look at the channel?
Because
I want to die?
he appears in some of the other ones. I don't know what song we should play. I Really Wish I Hated You by Blink. So he covers a newer Blink song. Let's check that out. Because I need to know more about sigmoid turtle right noise. What the fuck is that now? He's so scary. There's like some sort of evil dancing thing on here, and it's in.
Oh, this is fucking weird, man.
I don't remember.
I don't think this is how it goes.
This is 7 minutes long.
I think he's improvising it based on the lyrics, right?
But then there's like an evil, scary clown mask, or. It's really scary. I mean, I don't even know if anyone wants to expose themselves to this sigmoid turtle right noise is what you need to search if you're brave enough.
It's simply going to haunt you forever.
Well, maybe this one will be better. This
Sit in the bedroom, staring at the walls. Been up all damn night long, my pulse is beating, my love is yearning. I hold my breath and close my eyes and dream about her, 'cause she's 2,000 light years away.
So this is a SoundCloud. So this is just there's a photo of this person and that's it. That's all we're getting here.
Yeah, I don't even know. She doesn't even have her name.
Light years away. Sit outside and watch the sunrise. Look out as far as I can.
I love these like
Can't
creepy
see her,
acapella
but in the
SoundCloud ones.
distance, I hear some laughter.
It's really hard not to
All
compare
laughter
everything to
together.
World's Fair
I hold my
now,
breath and
to be
close
honest.
my
I know,
eyes
yeah.
and dream about her, 'cause she's 2,000.
But keeping this kind of creepy
But that's it.
energy.
World's Fair did you know it nailed
us
the
a
vibe.
language, yeah.
It gave us a language to be like, oh yeah, that's just really World's
2,000
Fair.
light years away. Years away.
Well, this next one is at least bass and vocals. I love this one. And this kid just like blasting a giant sig on here. This kid, Zach, he has like such a... This is the bass tone of someone who always has detention.
Yeah.
Interesting timing going on.
I know.
Feels my malachite so tight, so never let go. 'Cause you're 2,000 light years away. Years away.
Oh, this is so good.
Sit outside and watch the sunrise.
I think it's hard to tell if he's singing it so weird because he's singing and playing at the same time, or if he like is trying to punch it in after and can't really figure it out.
I mean, the fact that they're doubled is because if it was either one of those is sort of funny. Because I imagine doing the initial pass and then being like, "Fuck, now I gotta like figure out how to sing along to this."
Because she's 2,000. So similarly on SoundCloud, Cassandra has uploaded 2,000 light years. Was there acoustic there?
Yeah.
Just whoa! Just like a tiny little. Cassandra has a 2,000 light years. Is such a pop. So here's a little bit. For some reason, the SoundCloud for this song is so terrifying. On that note, here's a karaoke version from SoundCloud.
Oh yeah,
this is from Golden Backings.
This back is gold.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's so fucked. And then, you know, earlier our friend Sigmoid Turtle Right Noise. Yeah, I'm never going to stop saying that, actually. I think I'm going to talk about Sigmoid Turtle Right Noise every week now.
Oh, yeah. This is a Sigmoid Turtle Noise. It's a podcast about
Sigmoid
them.
Turtle Right Noise world. And we're just
yeah.
Similar to how you said that it seemed like he was just kind of freestyling it based on the lyrics. I think that's what this is too. This is something called The Somehows, and the album is titled Dadaist Rock and Roll. I mean, I'm already getting very bad Gen X vibes from all of that right there. But this is the Somehows cover of 2,000 Light Years Away from the album Dadaist Rock and Roll.
Okay.
I mean, it's sick, but I don't think they've ever heard the song before.
My love is getting
I mean, if someone was talking about the Wii scandal on top of this, it would sound like last Green May.
I mean, cool. Yeah, it brings me back, you know?
So they say on one hand you got people saying you can't be punk and conservative at the same time. On the other hand, you got people saying conservative is the new punk. And what I found is a band called Conservative Punks ! Where the YouTube channel is so bad that I genuinely cannot tell if it's a parody or not. They go to like a rally and do an Alex Jones impression, but it seems like it's a like pro Alex Jones impression. They seem to have posted about January 6th stuff and whatnot. But I mean, I still just want, maybe it's just my empathy or something. I just want to believe that this is a joke. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Either way, this is Conservative Punks !
I don't know. These guys don't look like they joke.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
The guy playing guitar is wearing a red tie and I think it's a fedora of some kind, and an Alabama t-shirt. And then the drummer is wearing like a... I mean, what is he... Is this a joke or no? Am I being bamboozled by...
Well, I can't tell. Like, I'm trying to scroll... Like, but these guys, again, they don't look like they're...
The main image at the top is a whole bunch of QAnon shit.
Yeah, and like they have like in these videos, you know, real flags up in their house that are like the "Don't Tread on Me," the Confederate flag, the Israel flag.
Yeah, and they've covered Katy Perry under the name The Unvaxxed.
Yeah, they also did a Green Day medley as The Unvaxxed.
Oh, we should probably... That's thematic. Let's check that one out.
We should probably... Hold on.
COVID's over. We can talk about not being vaxxed now. It's fine. That was
yeah, you and I can admit that we're not vaxxed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think
that looks like Steve Earle, which I love.
Yeah. I think that they're serious about being conservative, but they're goofing around with their. I mean, this is a better cover than the one with the drums.
Like the beat was vibey.
Yeah, so that's. This is such a painful channel. This isn't really a medley of. Oh, here we go. So I guess this is I mean, I still can't. I'm no closer to the truth than I was before we started. And you know what? Maybe that's true of all of us, including conservative punk. So we'll all figure it out together and get along one day. We'll figure out this damn divide. But I do like that.
There's definitely a video of him ranting on the steps of the Capitol building in Atlanta, wearing an InfoWars shirt, and it says...
Yeah, that was him. It says that it's like a tribute to Alex Jones, and he talks like Alex Jones in it, but I can't tell if...
Is he? Yeah.
I just can't... I honestly can't figure it out, but... you know, Green Day does seem to... There seems to always be like one person who doesn't get it with Green Day each week.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
Yeah, totally. Okay, so this is this week's this week's prize winners.
Yeah, exactly. So this song appears on a Green Day comp called God's Favorite Band, which I think is a pretty funny name. These guys have decided to name themselves God's Favorite Band. Now, this one is really special. I think we need to sort of treat this one with some gravitas because God's Favorite Band, this has 13 views since 2020, since July 2020, 13 views. God's Favorite Band covers Green Day's 2000 Light Years Away from the Kerplunk album, shot and edited social distance style. There's one comment that says, I love this. It's uploaded by Scott Howe, who has 7 subscribers. So 7 subscribers, 13 views. At least one of them is me. And it's kind of like they've used all of the like iMovie comic book filters, and they're also like old as fuck. Like they're so like the guy playing bass is like an actual grandpa. They're all.
I mean, yeah, like.
My heart is yearning. I hold my breath and close my eyes and dream about her.
It's so good. And then they've made like a music video too.
Yeah, a little animated video with the little guy sitting on the couch, and he wrote out a bunch of emojis to someone on his phone that said the X and then deleted it.
I mean,
this is so great.
Not to be too ageist, but this is exactly how I'd imagine a bunch of old guys to stitch together a COVID cover.
Oh, this is so great.
Everyone's playing a different...
I hold my breath and close my eyes and dream about her, 'cause she's 2,000 light years away.
Are there 2 drum tracks or something? Like, the drums sound really off.
I just think they didn't have like the same starting point.
Yeah.
I love them.
Oh my god, they're my favorite guys.
Well, I want to know how they who did they pay to make them a music video? The bass player. The bass player's the best. He honestly looks
the bass
70.
player is the best.
Well, there's more guitarists.
Yeah, because because that guitar player looks like our age, but then the bass player is like very.
I hold my breath and close my eyes and dream about her. 'Cause she's 2,000 light years away.
Sorry, the singer was just like, because he keeps it really emoting, you know, so he just like kind of like had his hand on his face and then let his hand sort of go down his chest where it really looked like he was about to jerk off.
Oh, it's the Kerplunk girl. Oh my god. Yes, boys.
Oh my god, the coolest boys. The coolest, oldest boys.
We need to hear more from God's Favorite Band. I hope another pandemic happens so these old timers can get the band back together. This has been a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I thought that you would be upset from the Joker room and everything, but
no, this was amazing.
So I did actually save 2 really nice ones for last, but it's been such a nice time anyways, we didn't even notice. But this is kind of a sad synth one.
Why they got to make the synths like that?
I don't know. They just do. This one is kind of... It's not playing for me, though. Is it playing for you?
No.
One sec.
It's too nice.
I'll have to edit this. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, so do you need me to vamp?
This is M. Mickman on SoundCloud.
It's not playing for me.
Oh, it's not?
Is it playing for you? Maybe it's...
Just
should I
refresh.
reload to watch together?
Yeah, refresh, watch together.
Okay.
Is that playing?
Okay, it's playing now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just edit all this.
Yeah.
So this is M. Mickman with like a nice little crackly, sad one, which is I feel like people are pretty traditional, or dare I say even conservative with their covers of Green Day, but what happened? Is it not working still?
No, I don't think I touched anything, but it went back to the other video.
Yeah, that's so weird. Does this play? Can you hear like a...
It's playing now. Yeah, it's playing now.
Okay, let me just start it again.
Yeah.
People have been like more, dare I say, conservative with their covers. But I still think this is when they get experimental, it's like really experimental. Like this is so unexpected for this kind of song.
Oh my god, this is fucking awesome.
I love the warm crackle of the synth.
Just give me a pad.
Cause she's 2,000 light years away.
It's so sick.
She holds my malachite so tight, so.
Maybe I don't like the word malachite in this though. Maybe I think it's a bit pretentious.
You're just trying to find something not to like here. It's so good. This is all so good.
It's true. Oh, what a nice cover. And then finally, I thought I would end with just a nice acoustic version from Melanie. This one's just like so nice.
Oh.
I think, we can do final thoughts here probably. This one is beautiful too. But I think the magic of this song and of so many Green Day songs is that it does kind of feel like anyone can play them, but it doesn't sound like children's music, even though anyone can play it. It still just sounds so sick and timeless. So
yeah,
I love
like,
it.
I mean, that's the thing is, it's like perfect when people just play it the exact same way because it's a perfect song, and then these versions of it are perfect. Green Day is just so good, man. That's my final thought. Green Day is good.
It's funny how I wanted to make you have a rough time this week, and you just had a great time, and then Hitching a Ride was the real tough,
awful. Yeah, that was a real bad one. It turns out in terms of traveling, I'd rather travel 2,000 light years than hitch a ride.
Oh my God, he's done it.
we can quit now.
I'm very excited, and I'm especially excited to be on video. Welcome to the show, Stu Ross of Misery Signals and Comeback Kid. What's up?
Not too much. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, so we've had quite a juicy preamble here, and I wish that we had you on earlier because I didn't really realize that you're like quite a Blink-182 head as well.
yeah. I definitely come from the punk, skate punk, pop punk world for sure.
So I guess I have some ideas, but to start off with, we'll pretend it's the old version of the show. What's your Blink album, and are you more of a Mark or a Tom?
My Blink album. Okay. Shit. I'm going to say Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Whoa.
Just because I think it's like their best sounding record. It's got some of my favorite songs. And for years, I was a Mark guy for sure, like all the way. And then so on the flip side of this, obviously Dude Ranch is like kind of like the record, and I'm kind of like Team Tom on that. So it's like I don't know. If I had to say ultimately, though, yes, I will say Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is my favorite Blink record.
Okay.
And I will still say that I'm on Mark's team.
Okay. But you're starting to see that, like, it really is Dude Ranch and Tom. Like, you just...
Dude, I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, come on. It's like...
Yeah, you gotta be... It's like you understand that Dude Ranch is kind of one of the greatest works of art of all time. But for you... Take Off Your Pants is the best Blink album, maybe.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, sick. So, but we are here because you have a truly impressive collection of... I mean, are these dead stock or are they just vintage Green Day tees? Or tell me about what's your Green Day t-shirt situation?
So, like, I collect Green Day t-shirts from anywhere from like the 1039 Smooth era up until like Insomniac. I own one Green Day shirt from like the Pop Disaster tour. But I only bought it because it was like reasonably priced. And I was like, well, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the majority of those shirts are vintage, I guess. My collection isn't like extremely vast. I probably have of Green Day shirts or hoodies. I probably have about 35 pieces of Green Day clothing. Mm-hmm. And I would say that probably 85% of that is actually vintage. There's like some newer like bootleg stuff that dudes do that I'm just like, that's sick, so I buy it.
Right.
Or there's like kind of like cheap bootleg prints of original designs that I've bought that are like newer. But for the most part, like all the stuff that like I'm super psyched on is the vintage stuff that I have.
Sick. Well, I wore a hat just to talk to you.
That's a
I
dope
don't know if
hat.
you can see it. My head is so big that I broke the strap on the back. It's taped on, but it's interesting to me. It's Dookie with an actual piece of shit on it, which I like to have on a hat. But then is this font is from earlier? Isn't this the Kerplunk font?
Yeah, it's used on the Kerplunk record.
So it's kind of an interesting combo. I can't put it back on with my headphones now, but I don't know. I wanted to show it off to you. I didn't know if you had that piece or not. Do you have any Green Day hats?
I have an Insomniac hat.
Okay.
So it's like the ripped kind of paper logo that's on the Insomniac cover on the front, and then it says Insomniac over the little hole in the snap.
So tell me this: is there any other band that you collect like this, or is it specifically Green Day?
I have quite a bit of like Rancid stuff as well.
Okay.
As far as like vintage Rancid stuff, I only have like one Avenues and Alleyways t-shirt that's like from the 90s, but like I probably have like 20 to 25 Rancid t-shirts.
Sick. Amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because like their shirts aren't that different from one another either. It's usually just like the red logo with like a white image, so it's like I got a ton of those.
When I go see modern hardcore bands like Comeback Kid, for example, one of my favorite things to do is immediately go look at the merch. And I remember like seeing Comeback Kid. I can't remember if it was Dickens or maybe even, was there a Broken City show? It was somewhere in Calgary. And there was like so much merch that, I don't know if you were in the band or not at the time, but there was like a cage set up and it felt like a little miniature store almost. It was like so sick. And so I just think merch is such an integral part of the experience of kind of your day job. And I'm curious how you just, in a more like philosophical sense, what's your relationship with merch and how do you feel about merch?
I love merch. I think it like definitely is something that allows me to project my personality, my interests, things like that. And for me, merch as well is like a big nostalgia thing. It's a big nostalgia vibe for me, especially with like a lot of the Green Day stuff that I buy is kind of just buying back a time in my life where I was like, really like truly happy, I guess, like I hadn't really experienced anything terrible at that point in my life. And everything was like fresh and new and exciting. And especially with a band like Green Day, who, got me into like punk rock, it's like, that's so important to me. So it's like buying these shirts and spending money and like hunting them down and tracking down little pieces of like the past and my childhood is just kind of like, I don't know. It's exciting and it like makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's sick. So yeah, I guess we should rewind a little bit. How did you like get introduced to Green Day? And you said that they were kind of your gateway band into punk.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, like I'd heard like some metal, like Metallica and Pantera and stuff like that when I was a kid. And then, honestly, it's like such a like kind of like white bread exposure. But I think I saw the video for Longview on Much Music. And I think that's the first exposure I ever had to it. And I could just remember thinking like, oh, this is cool. It's like metal, but it's like melodic and like kind of more relatable to me. Like I'm not a dude with like long hair and like a skull tattoo on my arm, you know, like these guys in Green Day look more cool to me or like relatable to me. And that's kind of like what I think drew me to them. Yeah. And then like, thankfully they were like just a kick-ass band. Right. So then it's like, oh, this is sick. And I can remember just being like a little skate rat hanging around the like local skateboard shop. And there was a guy that had a Dookie t-shirt. And I remember thinking like, whoa, that's cool. Like, you know, you see like somebody you think is cool, they're wearing the shirt. So that was even more of a reason for me to like explore it or figure it out and learn more about it. So that's how I kind of like got into Green Day, I guess. And then, you know, just bought the CD and the rest is history.
So did you have like shirts back then too?
Oh, dude, for sure. I mean, like I definitely had the like Dookie album print with the track listing on the back. I had the green Dookie shirt that just says Green Day on the front and Dookie on the back with the poo on your hat.
Yeah, yeah.
What else did I have as a kid? Like I had there's like a design that they like now call the like Geek Stink Breath design, which is like this like guy with a needle. I had that on a long sleeve. Shit, man, that's the thing. Like when I was a kid too, like I would buy so much merch, like every band, every show I'd go to, I'd buy stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of sucks though, because this is kind of like a funny thing that you would have experienced too. Like for guys of around our age that have been into like punk rock, you know, there's been the trends. So it's like when I was like a teenager, I was buying like large and XL. You know, I got like a big wig stay asleep hoodie that's like extra large or something, you know? And by the time I'm like 19 and 20 and I'm getting into like Poison the Well and Every Time I Die and bands like this, I'm like, I don't care about a fucking big wig hoodie. So then I like, you know, just give it to like some friends or whatever. And it's like, dude, I probably did that like 4 times in my life. And it's like all the stuff that I have then is like appropriately sized for me now.
Yeah.
And like all the stuff that I like had from like 2000 to like 2005 is like medium or something, where it's like I could like not fit in that if my life depended on it right now, or at least not without looking like a total fucking asshole. Yeah. So like it's so I have so much regret about, because dude, I definitely had like so much fucking cool merch, like Sepultura stuff, Metallica stuff, Green Day stuff, like you name it, man. Like Vandals, Bigwig, NoFX. Like, man, I remember like I had like the NoFX Punk and Drillbook shirt on like a light, like heather gray or whatever it was, album cover. And like now if I like want to try and find that shirt, it's like $330 or something on like eBay or something. And I'm like, dude, just shit like that just like burns my biscuits, man.
So you just like, you were just like, oh fuck, I'm into, you know, youth large with a silk screen down by the torso now, or what, like a pink, a pink high watt amp drawing or something.
Yeah. I never got to that small. The smallest shirts I ever wore were small for sure. Yeah. And that was like, dude, and that was probably like, that was a no-no. Like somebody should have been like, dude, you can't wear a small shirt. But like, dude, not to throw anybody under the bus, but like one thing we were talking about on this last tour we did, like we were laughing because the bass player in Misery Signals, Kyle, dude, straight up used to wear youth medium shirts, dude. Like, do you know how small that is?
That's so good.
It's like a shirt. It's like a shirt for a dog. It's like no one can fit in that. And we were like joking because it's like this tour we just did was Misery Signals, Come Back, Kid, Cancer Bats, and all those bands have been around, you know, through that era and stuff. And we're joking, we're like, yo, we should make everyone wear their shirt size that they wore in like 2003 today, just to like have a laugh and see like what happens.
That's so good. Well, I mean, my mind's going in all directions, but you mentioned kind of the trends of merch and how you throw things away, and you're in bands that make a lot of merch. Is that something that you guys think about, like you know, what looks sick today, or is it still kind of an inherent thing? And second of all, just I want to point out, I love that Comeback Kid hat was featured in GQ Style.
Very
like
cool.
that's so tight.
Yeah, because we're like not the most fashionable band, so that's just like kind of funny that like some guy in Toronto who's like a GQ editor was like, "This hat is hot. It is hot for this. This is hot for the season." I'm like, okay, perfect. But yeah, no, I think our merch, I mean, it definitely ebbs and flows with like what's kind of hip, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we're not excluded from like trends, you know. Obviously our merch is going to change as like people's tastes change, but there's definitely like some designs that are like classics that we always like reprint and stuff, but we try and introduce new merch like pretty much every couple tours, because like I think we like you said, I think we like making merch, and it's cool to have new designs, and it's cool to like find new ways to like visually represent your band, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So like on this last tour, we had this like wild ass hoodie that Andrew was like pushing for so hard. There's this dude, John Mayo from Winnipeg, who does like really like thuggy hardcore, like kind of art. And yeah, it's just like this dude in like a hood, but you can only see like his red eyes, like there's no face. And he's like stomping across Canada, and it's got like all these landmarks from like across Canada underneath him. Dude, and he's like whipping a chain. Like it's like so hardcore, but it's like awesome because we can do merch like that. And then we can do like silly merch with like Garfield on it that says "talk is cheap," or like, you know, like we can like
totally.
And I guess that's the fun with merchandise. And like, I also like, it's hard too, because a lot of the merch that I like, or like think is cool now are like shirts from like the 90s or early 2000s, like, you know, like old Everclear t-shirts or something, or where they just have like, it's like the weirdest thing. It's like a melting popsicle. And you're like, who decided this is like a cool t-shirt, but it looks cool as fuck. It's like, I would never like make a Comeback Kid shirt with like a melted popsicle. Like it just wouldn't fly. It just wouldn't fly. But it's like, somehow it works for these other bands. I don't know. It's
so
cool.
True. Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to understand, you mentioned giving it all away because of the trends. When I was a teenager, well, actually, when I was like 12 or 11, I became obsessed with Mad Magazine. Like, and I had everything. I had so much Mad Magazine shit, and I just had it all around me everywhere. And then when I turned 16, I was like, I'm into punk now, and I let my mom sell probably like $5,000 worth of Mad Magazine shit at a garage sale. And then once I entered my 20s and got a job, I started buying it all again, and I had like a whole room in my house that was full of Mad Magazine shit. And then I moved from Calgary to Montreal. I sold it all again, and then now that I'm here, I'm rebuying it again. So.
I said, do you have an Alfred E. Newman like tattoo or anything?
I do, right here. Yeah, I do. I
Shut up, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways, I understand the feeling of like just having this thing, like, you know, you'll see the ET thing behind me. My wife had a huge ET collection that we got rid of when we moved. And then when we moved, we're like seeing cool ET shit everywhere. And it's just like, we can't stop. Is that kind of what's happening with Green Day with you? You're trying to, is it like, I guess what I'm asking, are you trying to recapture something? Is it like I like how you said you have regrets earlier, because it's like, you got to listen to your own songs, really, about having regrets. I mean, that's not cool. But, you know, are you trying to like recapture something from your youth, or like you feel like you missed out on something, or like you couldn't afford the shirts back then, or is it something like that?
I don't feel like I missed out on something, but I definitely do feel like I'm trying to recapture that time in my life, or that feeling. And I just think like having these things in my possession, whether they sit in my closet or I'm wearing them or taking them on tour or whatever, it just brings me happiness. It's like a nice warm blanket.
That's sick. And so, like, what was the first one that sort of started this latest obsession?
Well, like, I've probably been buying Green Day merch for the last, like, seeking out like old shirts for probably about 10 years now. So I think the first one that I actually, do you know what actually set it off is my wife got me a Dookie Tour t-shirt, like a 94 Dookie Tour t-shirt. For my birthday one year. And that was probably like 2010, 2011. And that was when I was like, okay, yeah, sick. This makes me feel good. I love this shirt. And it's like, they're kind of a band that like I was obsessed with when I was a teenager. Until I was like probably like 17 or 18 and, you know, other bands just took interest in Green Day, like honestly just stopped putting out really great records.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell off, but then it's like, you know, I time and time again, no matter what, I go back to those records and I'm just like, I love these records. They make me feel great. I love the songs. And again, much like the merchandise or the t-shirts and stuff, they just like remind me of like being young and being like really happy and being just kind of like fresh and yeah, just like new and young and just no problems, you know. I guess that's
Totally.
the best way to describe it.
That's sick. So I see you have some shirts behind you. Do you want to show us? I can take some screenshots if you want to show us like
Sure.
some of your hottest grips that you got.
Sure. I pulled a few. So this one that I'm wearing, I think is really funny. So it's from, that would have been 95. This is the first tour I ever saw Green Day on, with the Riverdales on the Insomniac tour. I thought the shirt was really funny. I've never seen it anywhere. And a guy had it on eBay and it's pretty funny. As you can see, it says "Die Punk Rock" and it's an alien. And the dude is saying, "Dude."
That's so good.
It just says special guest Riverdale's live. And then on the back, it's got the Insomniac album art.
Oh, whoa. That's so tight.
Yeah. And the shirt itself is kind of like a gross white. And I don't know if it was originally white and now it's not, but yeah.
Did you get it off of eBay or where did you get it from?
I did. I got it off eBay. The guy, just some guy in California.
Do you know, are you like, because I know I have some friends who are like obsessed with buying vintage merch on the internet. Are you like, do you like check the tags or like, do you know about all that kind of stuff or are you anal about it or are you chill about it?
To a degree, like sometimes if the shirt is cool enough and it doesn't have a tag, like I'll run the risk of it like possibly being a bootleg. I've never had that where I've gotten it and been like, oh, this is like newly printed or something. Like everything I've gotten, as far as I can tell, is authentic. And like, again, like I have some friends that do the vintage stuff. So it's like, you know, checking for single stitch because that's like a sign of the era and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm not like nuts about it. I mean, there was a time where like I was using this thing called Gem app, which basically searches like Etsy, eBay, Depop, Grailed, everything. It just puts it into like one thing. So yeah, that's a helpful thing. But like, honestly, like I bought so much stuff over the last few years and then now prices are just like, people are insane. Like people are like $700 for the shirt. And I'm like, there's no chance in fucking hell that I would ever pay that much money for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So like the most I've ever paid, like, and I even feel silly saying it, is like $200, but like,
which shirt was that?
Man.
Yeah, that's sick.
So I think I paid $200 for the pulling teeth long sleeve.
Okay.
It's got like the face on the back having the tooth pulled out, and then it's got the Kerplunk like logo on the front. But then like a guy recently did a bootleg of that, and I got the hoodie, the t-shirt, and the long sleeve. So I've got a few of them. But some of the, like I just grabbed a few that I like really, really like.
Yeah.
So this one I'd never seen before, but since I got it a few years ago, I did see it listed again somewhere else, and it's like an Insomniac tour tee. So it's got the album art, kind of a cool shirt, and the back's got the
that rules.
Stuff. And this one's like pretty worn out. Like you can't really see, but there's like a ton of little holes everywhere. So it's well worn. It's an awesome shirt. I love that one. Pulled some classics for you. This is just the classic Dookie tee.
Beautiful.
With the album list, the track listing on the back. So recently, I was like, I have to have the track listing because that's the one I had when I was a kid. Like I have the Dookie tour tee, but I wanted the track listing tee. So I got that pretty recently. One I was searching for a long time was the classic Insomniac cover on the green shirt. And it's not that it's that hard to come by. You'll find a lot of them, but a lot of them are listed in like Southeast Asia for some reason.
Okay.
And they're just very expensive. But again, if you're patient and you like, you know, play your cards right, you eventually find somebody who will give you a decent price on it. And like the Wild Oats tag, that's usually like a telltale sign that you've got a real deal t-shirt on your hands. Similar to that one, this is like a Euro version that I got from a guy in Poland. very cool back print on that one.
Sick.
Yeah, and then I mean, I could grab a bunch more from my closet, but
so do you have like people kind of like keeping an eye out for you too, or people ever like bring you Green Day stuff, or is kind of you're on your own with this pursuit?
Typically on my own. I mean, if anybody's out there listening, please bring it.
Yeah.
But no, I've got a couple buddies that like buy vintage stuff like as like their job.
Yeah.
And they will send me like listings for things. But like I said, even in like the last 2 years, like prices have just gone so insane, like so high. It's like, again, like I'm not going to pay $500 for a t-shirt. So
is there like one design that you would like, is there like one grail for you that you would pay $500 for?
No, because I think, well, maybe, I mean, for like the shirts of the era that I love of the band, I have like the key shirts I want. There's like a couple that like, there's like an older like Sloppy Hours tee where it's like the dog from the 7-inch and it's like a purple square, and that shirt, like, I mean, I don't think I'd pay $500 for it, but if somebody was like, here's the shirt, it fits perfectly, you can have it right now for $500.
Yeah.
And it was like in front of me, maybe I'd be like, all right, sure. But
my most favorite one that I found on your Instagram is the one where it's like the dog holding up a bowl of shit. Like, tell me about that shirt, because it blows my mind. It's so cool.
Okay, the cool thing about that shirt too is like part of my infatuation with it is there is like a Green Day promo photo where Trey Cool is wearing that shirt. And I like that shirt because the front doesn't say Green Day. It's just this funny picture of like a dog that's a chef, and he's holding like a pot, a pot of shit, which is just like it's totally insane. Like, I love that shirt. And the one I have is great. It's authentic, but it's not the best fitting shirt. Whoever had it before me, like, definitely stretched it out.
Yeah.
But you can't, like, beggars can't be choosers, man. If it's a good deal,
true.
and like,
it's true.
And again, like for me, like a lot of it's just like collecting it. Like I've worn that shirt like a handful of times, but it's not like my go-to. But it's a cool shirt. It's definitely very cool.
Like, you wear your Green Day shirts when you play shows sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'll take some on tour.
So, I mean, do you have like, there's some kind of nerdy vintage T-shirt way of like washing it or something too, right? You can't just throw it in permanent press or whatever.
I do. I just throw it in the washing machine. I don't give a shit.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I'm not too concerned about it. Like, a lot of the stuff that I have is like already so well worn. It's like, how much worse can it get? I mean, I guess we'll see in like 10 years, but
that's so tight.
At the end of the day, it is just a T-shirt. Like, so how much are you going to baby it? Like, you can't keep it in like a glass case. I mean, I guess you could if you're a weirdo, but.
So is Insomniac when you fell off on Green Day, or?
No, I guess technically, but like, here's the thing is I think that Insomniac is Green Day's best record.
Okay.
So to follow that record up was like it was hard to do in the first place. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where I fell off. Like I like Nimrod, I like Warning, but like those are records that I got into like after they were out, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like when Insomniac came out, I like skipped school to go buy it.
Right. Okay.
And because I was worried that there wasn't going to be any copies left. Like straight up, there was like 500 copies there, and like no one was trying to buy it. You know what I mean? Like nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you're like, oh god, I gotta fucking get this thing. Yeah. So like like when Nimrod or Warning came out, I wasn't like at the record shop waiting to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like personally, Nimrod was mine. I think I must be a couple, like 2 years younger than you or something. Because Nimrod was my introduction, other than obviously Dookie. But I kind of feel like they still looked cool all the way until American Idiot. And then I feel like if you're a punk band, once you put on a dress shirt and a red tie, there's no turning back, is kind of my opinion about it. You can't. Yeah. What are you supposed to do after that? Like you
just like hanging out with Anti-Flag, drinking coffee at the Warped Tour or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's just no. I don't know. I just don't think Green Day could ever go back to their cool aesthetic after that.
Dude, and that's the thing is they look so fucking cool, and I want to talk about that, but I also want to quickly just laugh about how what is with My Chemical Romance, Anti-Flag, Green Day. Who else? Who else just wears black shirts and red ties?
Sum 41, I think. Probably.
Dude, what's with that? What is with that look? Like, it doesn't look cool. Who was like, yeah, this looks awesome. Let's go with it. Like, it's not a good look.
It's really weird.
Like, dude, it pains me to say that, like, in like 1994, Billy Joe probably looked like the coolest fucking dude in the world, and now he just looks like such a goof. Like, dude, it's like, it's painful. Sorry, dude. Sorry, Billy. When you hear this, don't take it personally.
Billy's definitely listening to 2.5 hour podcast. I mean, maybe they probably do. I would if someone made a podcast about me. I would. So, yeah,
hell yeah, me too. But yeah, you're right. Like they look so cool. Even up like through Nimrod, they still look fucking cool. Even dude, Warning, they look cool. Like, yeah. Shenanigans, they still look cool.
I think it's once you start wearing like stage clothes, then you lose your.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
And like, why wear eyeliner? Like, what is going on? You're not Mike Ness in 1982 or like whatever, you know, like.
Yeah, I know. Because now he just kind of when you see him on Instagram or whatever, he kind of is dressed a little bit like a old punk guy, but then there's still a little bit of that suit and tie look too, which is just very peculiar.
There is like a slight cringe factor to his style, like current style that like still exists, but you're like, dude, you're so close to being like, how does he not look at like old pictures of himself and be like, dude, I look fucking cool as fuck. I should probably dress like that.
Because he honestly kind of dressed like pretty grunge actually back then. Like he had like cardigans and stuff, and like and now he's
cool.
He is actually dressing like Mike Ness. I think you're right. I think he's like trying to dress like Mike Ness now, to be honest, which is like such a sketchy,
like some like angled like chimney sweep cap, like
exactly.
Really weird. Dude, yeah, like right down to the like little details, man. Just like the all black Converse with like the pants that are like an inch too short. Like that's a cool look back then. Like I don't like these days. Like just look like your old self. You'd be cooler. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and how are his kids? How are his kids not like, Dad? This is whack.
I mean, that's weird too. If your dad was Billy Joe Armstrong, I know one of them was like in a garage band that they had some canceled. They kind of got canceled a bit.
Swimmers.
Lucky. Yeah, but I don't know if your dad is Billy Joe Armstrong or Travis Barker or something, then your perspective of it would be so skewed as well. You wouldn't be like, oh, you're cool because you were in. I mean, even in the time of your life video, Billy Joe Armstrong is like the coolest looking man to ever live.
Yeah, he still looks cool. And it's weird too because he's like kind of ugly, but he's like super handsome. It's like he's just got the weirdest thing about him. You
just can't stop staring at him, really, from that.
Dude, I love him. Also too, like on that same note, like I don't pay attention to this shit, but my wife was showing me photos from like the Met Gala or something.
Yeah.
And Travis Barker was just dressed like some insane like popper. Like he's got like weird like fancy man pants on. Looks like he should be carrying like a saber. It's like totally insane.
But I gotta say this to maybe wrap it all up. I think recently Travis has become my absolute favorite because I used to think that he was like the most lame member of Blink. But something's happened. He's just like, he's on the Kardashians show every week now wearing like vintage, like probably $500 Black Flag tees or like GBH and shit sometimes too. And like, he's done it for so long and people have hated him on it for so long and like giving Kourtney Kardashian his Cannibal Corpse hoodie, and then everyone was like roasting her for that, and he's like, fuck you, that's my girlfriend, she was cold. I feel like he's done it so long that I just straight up think he's cool now, just being like
I mean, I don't think there's any shame in his game. I got respect for him. I think it's cool that like I don't necessarily like the music that he's producing or making with a lot of these artists, but I think it's cool that he's like networking, being relevant, like making music and like making music that's successul as opposed to like certain other members of the band. You know, so like that's cool. And like it's Travis Barker. You know, he's like legit. Like, you know, he's not like wearing a Black Flag shirt as like a fashion statement. Like he's doing the same thing that we're talking about. He's probably like, man, I love that Black Flag shirt I had when I was 13 years old. And I'm also like the richest dude on earth. So yeah, I'll pay $1,000 for it. Give me it.
Yeah.
You know, like, he doesn't give a shit.
It's tough.
So yeah, I respect that.
It's very interesting. Well, Stu, it's been a pleasure. I don't know if there's anything that you want to plug specifically. I know you're basically always on tour everywhere around the world. But I want to plug for you Green Day shirts on Instagram because it's a great collection, and hopefully we'll get some people sending you some hot tips for the future. But
Sweet,
I don't know, anything else?
that.
Anything else people should check out?
No, I mean, yeah, Comeback Kid's got a new record out. Misery Signals has a reasonably recent record out. It came out in 2020. Yeah, and both bands are pretty active. We're staying busy and touring as much as we can. Yeah, check out the Green Day shirts Instagram. It's not the flashiest. I feel like I do need to like give it a facelift, maybe do some better photos, because it's just like shirts hanging on a shitty wire hanger in my bedroom. But yeah, I will take better photos if people check it out. I promise. If I get more followers, I'll give the.
I don't think you should. I think you got to
people.
keep it raw. Keep it feeling like early Green Day, early Blink energy.
Keep it punk. Keep it punk. Yeah. Exactly. Also, dude, again, like I don't know if I crossed the line slamming, wearing a tie on stage, but that's my opinion. So I'm going to stick with it.
You're all good. All right. Thank you, Stu.
Green Day facts. So for Green May, I've been tweeting a Billy Joe quote every day, but in looking for Billy Joe quotes and also just general facts, I've spent quite a bit of time on archived GeoCities pages. So here are some random facts about Billy Joe Armstrong. Billy's cat Zero died in his washing machine. He used to have a nose ring, but he took it out because it kept getting caught on his guitar. His birthday is the same day as America's National Cabbage Day. At age 15, Billy tried to go to an Operation Ivy concert, but he was refused entry. One of the members of the band heard he wasn't allowed in, so they came out and personally escorted him into the show. It's an old tradition of Billy's that at every one of his concerts he kisses a guy. Don't think that stands to this day, but correct me, and correct this old GeoCities if wrong. The first album Billy Joe bought was Elvis Presley's The Sun Sessions. Billy Joe got expelled from 2 schools. In early 2001, Billy Joe was mugged at gunpoint and is now terrified of guns. Billy's a vegetarian. His favourite food is vegetarian lasagna. Billy's favourite drink is root beer. He occasionally suffers from panic attacks and anxiety. And finally, if he could choose any film role in history, he would choose Austin Powers. Billy Joe facts.